Hey everybody, we are back from the deep. We do not have a full barn, but we got the Stallions in the house today, dude. We do. We got TJ Stancliff with Eric Wheeler in the house. Me, Jack Warner the third. We got a nice show. Crazy shit going on. College football is done. It's over. Finally, to be honest with you, like in my brain, finally, it's over. Get to rest a little bit. And getting my favorite time of the year is this time with NFL because conference championships are bumping. We'll talk a little bit about college football championship. We'll talk about the playoffs. We'll react to what we just had going on. After this weekend, when we get ready for next week's episode, since we have a couple weeks till the Super Bowl, I'd like to break down kind of all of our predictions of everything and if we were right or wrong throughout the year. I have a giant list of everything. I've been rewatching our pods, trying to take a little bit of a record, you know what I mean, of who predicted what. And then when we predicted games, like the games we wanted to cover, I want to kind of get, a win-loss. See who's really on top of their shit and who really wasn't. To be honest with you, I was not. I've realizing that more and more as I filled this out. It's honestly like hurting my ego throughout the process because I'm really in live time realizing how wrong I am about sports. But who cares? This is a comedy pod. All right, boys, the icebreaker question. We talked about coaches last week. TJ had a wonderful, wonderful question about Mike Tomlin. And I wrote down, I was like, you know what? I want to break down a little bit more of coaches. This offseason we'll do a lot of like top 10 stuff, a lot of history of football talk. I want to do a lot of that. I'd love to do a draft with the boys with all-time players, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to spice it up to start that. And we're going to talk about another Mount Rushmore of coaches. I kind of have a split. If you want to give two Mount Rushmores, that's fine. I want to see one of what you've seen in your lifetime, and then one you think is kind of the overall history Mount Rushmore of coaches, because that will dramatically change. You know what? He asked first. I'll actually go right after him before we lead off to TJ. Eric, man, who we got for our Mount Rushmore of current coaches? And if you want to sprinkle in the history one afterwards, you can do that, my friend.
Alrighty, boys. So the only rule I gave myself because I'm not gonna do the all-time one because if we did that one, I'd really want to dig in, like and
Mm,
really dig into it, and maybe that'd be a fun off-season one. Like I'll take a couple days to research it. Let's just bring out the wildest names we could think of. So I went guys. I gave myself a rule that I had to do guys that were done. I didn't want to do guys that their stories aren't all the way written yet. You know what I mean? So obviously I got Saban in there, Nick Saban. How can you not? I have Bill Belichick in there, obviously. And then the last one I gave to Urban Meyer, just because he won at two different schools, which is really rare, three national championships. And then the last one I actually gave to Bob Ladouceur, the high school coach for what was the name of his school? I'm sorry, I breathe the name of his school, but it's if you De La Salle, that's what it was. If
yep.
you ever watched when the game stands tall, dude, I can never get over his stats. Like he was 399, 25, and 3 as a coach. He won 151 games straight, which was 5 seasons or 11 seasons straight of winning games, 11 national championships, and he won 19 state championships. An average score of a game he coached was 49-9 for 427 games. And so I wanted to get one fun random one in there, so that's what I threw in there, just because I cannot get over that. Like I just, by now you guys know I'm a stat guy. I just
Oh
can't
yeah.
read that and just be like, dude, that's stupid. Who is he coaching against? What kind of players did this guy have compared to everybody? That's just domination, absolute domination.
I love the high school shout out, man, because that shit matters. Actually, as I was thinking about that too, as I couldn't come up with his name. I even tried doing a quick Google. I kept forgetting his name. I was on Hope Clark was going to be on here for this. As I was thinking about like Mount Union's coach that was there forever, that had like that's just real coaching. I know a lot of people just think NFL or just think college, like D1. But to have that success, because with those type of players, some people are like, oh, like they do like recruiting with those big schools like out there. It's like, dude, but still, that means other schools are doing that too. You know what I mean? And you're still winning championships and high school national championships. I don't even know how that works out. You
I
watch
found the Mount
ESPN
Union
and
guy if you want it.
what's his name? The legendary one.
Larry Karras. Is that you're
Is that?
thinking of?
I think so. That's the one that was like got them kickstarted in the early
He's
2000s.
300. He's 332, 24, and 3 over 27 seasons and 11 national titles.
Oh man, see, that's what I'm talking about right there, dude. You know what? That'll be my special one for mine out of my four slots. Of course, Bill Belichick. I mean, come on, it's Bill Belichick. See him in my lifetime. I think he's the best coach ever. I think it's a gimme with Nick Saban a little bit because that's the other one. Like that, I think that's GOAT one, GOAT two. I don't think, and the fact that they're so close together as friends makes it even more like special. They're always gonna be connected at the hip. What the Browns could have been if they never lost the team, who knows? Even though Bill Belichick's record was pretty much the same as Kevin Stefanski's with the Browns. um, but I was thinking about another one, and I was trying to think like just good coaches. You know what? I want to go more personality on this one because I love a coach with a crazy personality, and I know a lot of people think he's real famous now, and he is. But when we were younger, NFL films, man, you had to be there when he was really Chucky. You had to be there, when John Gruden was really John Gruden. He wasn't exactly the personality yet. He was just the Monday Night Football guy. You know what I'm saying? To me, he kind of was like our generation's John Madden for a while when we were young. You know what I'm saying? Like he just
That's a
made
good
the
call. That's a good call.
yeah, he made the sport so unique and fun, and you knew he could still coach, and he's a Super Bowl winning coach, and he can make any program great. Honestly, I'd love to see him get involved more in college. Maybe it's because of the barstool aspect of things, and I just think the NIL shit would change the game. Fuck the NFL, they screwed you over. They screwed you over. History, I'll just right off the top of my head because I had the list down. I was already thinking about it. Lombardi, of course. You don't have this shit without Lombardi. I was going through a lot of old coaches. Like I trust me, the old, Hallis, all those guys. I'm gonna do Lombardi. I'm gonna do Nuke Rockney, not just because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but because Nuke Rockney is like the Lombardi of college football. Without Nuke Rockney, Notre Dame's not a blue blood whatsoever. Um, so I'll do those two, and then I'll top it off Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. I think it's just that's it. You got goats. I like other guys in there. My honorable mention for my personal one, we'll add an extra head. Dude, Coach Ditka. Like I know he wasn't the best coach ever. I know that they say if he was better, they would have won more Super Bowls than that one year. And that he ran the offense, not the defense, which is kind of ironic that he was so legendary. But dude, the glasses, the attitude, flipping people off all the time. Fuck yeah, Coach Dick, one of my guys. What do we think, TJ? Man, I feel like you put a lot of thoughts in these type of questions, man. Who's your Mount Rushmore, current in history?
I did put a lot of thought into it, but I had to kind of narrow it down so this wasn't a 30-minute rant segment from your
Hey,
boy.
fuck it,
So,
fuck
No one's
it.
getting
uh,
your way,
We don't
dog.
have
I
any
promise.
games really.
so let's start. So I stuck with just NFL because I've been thinking a lot about the NFL playoffs.
Yep.
So for coaches in my lifetime, I looked at coaches that the players love playing for and coaches that had sustained success. So on my NFL Mount Rushmore for my lifetime, let's go Bill Belichick. Obviously, that's a given. Let's go Andy Reid.
Ooh,
Let's go Sean Payton.
ooh,
And for number four, I want to do a current coach that I think is on an incredible all-time trajectory. Let's do Sean McVay.
ooh.
I think
Okay.
Sean
Ooh,
McVay,
nice.
when it's all said and done for him, people will be talking about him like as a coach that represents this time in football history. But let's go historical real quick. Let's
Mm-hmm.
hop in the time machine and jump back in time, man. I'm gonna make this real easy for us. Vince Lombardi,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Walsh,
Oh yeah, that's my other one.
Bill Belichick, all time still one greatest coach of all time. Paul Brown. Give me Paul
Ooh.
Brown for the one time. So I don't know if you guys know this. Paul Brown coached at every level of football it is
Yep.
possible to coach at. He lost, I think it's 10 games in 11 years at Massillon High School. 10 games in 11 years in high school football. And Massillon, still a dynasty to this day, and then went to Ohio State and coached the Buckeyes. They won their first national championship in 1942, the first one ever. That was due to Paul Brown. And then Paul Brown founds the Cleveland Browns, coaches them to complete and utter dominance. And I don't know if you know this, he broke the color barrier in professional sports
Yep.
before Jackie Robinson. So
Yep.
1946, he was signing black players to his football teams and was just innovative. Like everything football is today is because Paul Brown planted the seeds, man. So big ups Paul Brown, man. That's one of the greatest winners of all time. And you can hate and say they didn't wear helmets or that they wore leather helmets. I don't give a shit. None of the shit we have today wouldn't be here if it weren't for Paul Brown.
And I want to tell the people real quick, a little education. I know a lot of people that listen are Browns fans, but I want to sprinkle a little bit of dust on top of what TJ just said there, where I think people really forget of like, dude, like he's not only still the name of Cleveland Browns, like the longevity of it, but the longevity stuck because they didn't lose a game back then. Like Otto Graham's days and all those days back then, they went on before the Super Bowl was a thing. The Browns were the guys. Like the Browns were like the dynasty, the team. What you think of the Patriots, the way they were with Bill Belichick, or what you think about the Cowboys in the old days. Like no, dude, like they were better than all of them. Like they didn't lose anything. In fact, also fun fact, Detroit was also the powerhouse. And I think it was like almost 10 years in a row, Detroit and the Cleveland Browns were facing off for the NFL championship every year, year in and year out. And then the Lions get hit by their curse that they always talk about, that they finally broke with Peyton Manning breaking the curse. If you guys watched that Manning cast that day when he
And
was in Detroit. But,
just
anyways,
look.
but yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
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 you
go.
finish.
No, no. I just love that take.
No, I don't think I granted I'm a youngin, I guess in the scheme of things, but I don't think these youngins really understand like what it takes to pull that shit out of nothing. This cat literally invented playbooks. Like they never used to call plays on the sideline. That was not the coach's job. That all that shit happened on the field. And Paul Brown said, "Hey, if we're going to be prepared, there has to be an element of routine to this, and we have to practice. So what are we gonna fucking put all this shit in our head and freestyle it, or are we gonna write it down? So this dude was literally drawing up playbooks by hand and passing them out to his players for like the scheme. He invented face masks, every style of play, power, draw, ISO, all that shit was Paul Brown invented. Like this cat literally invented like 95% of the shit that is in football today.
Well, I'll go off that. We'll do an old timer Mount Rushmore because I think you'll like this one, TJ. Very educated here. If you're gonna do those guys, think about that era. You got Lombardi, who put the military aspect, who like made what Paul Brown did on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Like that, he literally took that regimen of like we gotta be prepared, we gotta have a playbook. So put Lombardi there. You got Brown there, like for everything you explained. I'll also once again be a homer so I can educate my people. Nuke Rockney is the one that created the overhead pass. He's the one that created the fact that you could throw the ball forward. He's the first one to actually think we're going to run plays that have. I'm actually going to make you read the field. He was the first one to tell people you're going to read the field. So you got him, and I'm going to put Hallis in there for the Bears because a lot of people have always wonder why are the Bears so relevant when they talk about the history. It's not just because the '85 Bears. It's because without George Hallis, there is no NFL. So he was the business aspect. Brown was the meat and potatoes of what really football was. Lombardi made it nationwide with Nuke Rockney. Those guys changed the game. So that's what cracks me up. People want to talk about, you know, the people that are kind of like just what do they call it, like something in the pan. What do they call it? Frying the pan. Whatever they when they
Flash in the
fucking
pan.
flash
Flash
in
in
the
the
pan. There
pan.
you go. It's like that shit is like that's the way I think. It's like, oh, this person's the greatest ever. It's like, no, man, like I like the McVay take. Like you gotta make it last a little bit because that's what we're going off of if you want to be a GOAT. Like you gotta make it last. And I love the McVay take because it just hurt me. We'll get to the Niners, but Shanahan will forever be the number two coach in this era. And that
Bro, and
pisses
I
me off.
I just wanted to add before we move
Ugh.
on from the Paul Brown shit.
Ugh.
I have no idea if this is true. Like Paul Brown lived a long ass time. He was like 83 when he died or 84 when he died or some shit.
Back then, that's crazy.
I was studying, like I was looking into Paul Brown today, and I saw multiple outlets say that he was 6'8". So apparently he was just a giant fucking old man that was a general of like the most athletic guys of the era. Like I saw multiple like sources say he was 6'8" tall. And that's insane to me that he was so fucking big back then.
But I try to think too. Like, think of the organization that comes in. Like, one, you have to get guys to listen to you. So if he's that big and shit, like, you gotta get grown men to listen to you. You also gotta get them to not have other jobs, to have more time for the game. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to get like, think about all the fundraisers and bullshit you probably had to do back then to just make sure your guys can get on maybe planes. That was groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like back to Nuke Rockney, like, he was like one of the first ones to be like, "Hey, we're gonna fucking travel in this hoe. We're gonna go coast to coast and see what happens."
That came
Um,
back to bite him.
you know, yeah. Oh my God, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, that came back to bite him good. The plane
Uh,
crash.
That's Mike's perfect cue
yes,
into
it
the pod.
is. Clark is here. All right, Clark, man. I think you can answer off the top of your head pretty well. Who's your Mount Rushmore of current coaches? Not just current, but like coaches you have seen in your lifetime. And then, we kind of dove into the history. You just heard some of that. Maybe some ones that you think is your Mount Rushmore, historically. You're allowed to do college and NFL, or you can make it just stick to NFL. Like, for instance, I did Mount Union's coach back in the day that was killing it. Nick
Yeah.
Saban, Bill Belichick, shit like that. I love the Andy Reid. That was nice, TJ. But anything like that, Clark. Hey, Tony Dungy, that's a nice shout out too. That probably won't be said. I really liked him when I was younger.
I'll just think of some ones that probably haven't been mentioned. I think I put Pete Carroll up there for sure. Did an NFL and college. I don't know if he brought up earlier. He's definitely
Yeah.
one of the fucking best. I mean,
hmm
he's the man. Off the top of my head,
Try telling the kids that now. They probably think that
yeah. Oh
dude's
yeah,
fucking old and shitty, bro.
yeah. He was the fucking man, dude. College is kind of tough. Somebody in Casanis is a guy who doesn't really like Ohio State. I've always been a big Jim Tressel guy. I think just as a person and a coach, he deserves to even be in the conversation.
Yep.
He had only one natty, but I mean, he was everything I've ever read about him. Everyone loved him, right? And he's had success. Even being at the AD at or president wherever he's at
We
Youngstown
had a lot
State.
of success at Youngstown State
Yeah, that
before he was in
beforehand, yeah, he
OSU.
was
Yeah.
fantastic there. And I've read his book. He'd always talked about how he ran his program and shit. He seems like a fantastic dude. He's really cool. I'm trying to think of a random fucking historic one. How about Frank Leahy? Let me look him up. He was Notre Dame's coach after Rockney, and I believe he won four
Yes.
natties there.
Yep.
Uh,
The resurgence.
yeah, he's the one that kind of brought Notre Dame back. He
Yep.
coached there two different times. His second run, his
His
first four
statue's
years,
badass at the
he
stadium.
went 8-0, 9-0, 9-0, and 10-0, and finished with an all-time. Let's see what his win-loss
Sit
total
down,
was.
Signetti. Frank
Yeah, it
Leahy's
was
here.
fucking his all-time win to yeah, his head coaching record overall was 107, 13, and 9 back in the fucking day.
And
Fucking
it,
great coach.
and we're talking like some wars were going on.
Yeah, he had four Heisman. I believe his first Heisman winner, Angelo Bertelli, actually didn't even wasn't even home to know he won the Heisman. He heard it over the radio. He was actually fighting in the war, which is always a fucking cool thing. And that's imagine that getting ready to go fight and hearing the radio won the fucking Heisman Trophy. That's fucking
That's why I'm
insane to
like,
me.
see you fellas, I'm gonna go on a little
Yeah,
tour. That's when you win a
yeah,
medal type shit. I'm gonna go meet the
yeah,
president. I'm out of here,
yep.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
he was in the
badass.
military Marine Corps from 90 or 1942 to 43. Yeah, he was in Japan. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that's why OSU won their first title because Notre Dame had their best players out. That's fucking breaking
Yeah.
news. That's my Stephen A. take of the
That's
day.
breaking news.
That's my drama in the comment section. Uh, that's a great pick. I don't know. Was that enough? I think that was enough for four. I can't
Yeah,
even
close
count.
enough.
Yeah, close enough. Love great coaches. I feel like we were blessed to go through a lot of good coaches.
Hmm.
Who's gonna be the next great coaches to come? I love the offensive minds, the defensive minds. I think we're still like the McVays are still there, but I think we're still waiting to see like that plethora. Because when we were younger, there's kind of like there was like already like a standard of really established coaches. So we were really blessed to watch. Even like random ones, like Lovie Smith really held it down over in Chicago. Like just the most random coaches you could think of. Romeo Cannell was awesome. Romeo Cannell. No, I'm joking. Fucking go Browns. Anyways, college football national championship, bro. Electric. I'll let you boys go around the table. I'll call you guys out for your thoughts. Um, I'll just say, cool to watch a good game. Honestly, like I know a lot of people would call about boring games, blowouts. I like to defend my Irish. I don't care. Another hypothetical win for Notre Dame, but we pretty much came back to a one-score game last year. I think people forget that. But this game was fucking electric. And Mendoza's a dog. Um, I comedy wise, I something's up with that dude's character, bro. He is holding something back from us. I think that boy goes to Vegas. He ain't who you guys think he is anymore, dude. Like when he said let's fucking go and then like the way he talked to the press conference and all the photos I've been seeing of that dude in his old Instagram and shit. I was like, nah, this dude's trying to act all cookie cutter up in Indiana and acting like he wasn't just at Berkeley. And then before that, chilling in Miami. That guy, I don't know. Keep an eye out for him, bro. That might be like a hidden Johnny Manziel one day. We're gonna see him like Thad Castle in Vegas going fucking ape shit before a game. But anyways, his diving. I'll just say one more thing. His diving touchdown was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Now, to me, it was like up there with like watching Vince Young take on USC and score that last second touchdown. Like it was that fucking just monumental, crazy. And then come to find out that the guy he pretty much ran over to get to that point was the same dude that took him out last year and hit him really fucking hard and made him lose the game when they played Cal. So the same guy that he truck sticked was the type of dude that hit him. And I've heard stories that a lot of people were trying to headhunt his ass because at Cal, apparently that was his biggest weakness. And then everyone has been talking about that Indiana strength and conditioning coach that put on 20 muscle, 20 pounds of muscle for him, and now he's a big dude. Shout out to Mendoza. Shout out to Indiana. Hey, shout out to Notre Dame for being the last team to beat Indiana. Let's go. I gotta give that. I'm gonna be. I told you, toxic. It's off season now. Fuck it. Notre Dame. We'll get to the odds for next year. They're already talking about Notre Dame winning it all, baby. I'm gonna get. I don't care. Another hypothetical win for Notre Dame. I'm gonna keep you saying that. And I might have a stroke next time I see that in the comment section, bro. It's fucking pissed me off. But anyways, let's go around the circle, man. You know what, Eric, man? Crazy game. Um, Kind of an interesting situation for an Ohio State fan because you're watching two teams that beat Ohio State. So, it kind of felt like, you're watching your big brothers go at it. But to me as a fan, that's what you want. You want to end the season knowing that the only teams that beat you were the teams that literally just had a fucking shootout. But what'd you think of the game?
Yeah, man. So the Mendoza dude, you guys know all year I've been high on him. I just love watching that run, dude. That quarterback sneak where he got broken in half. And he said after the game that his rule was what do you say? TJ, you might remember. He said, if it's man, I make my read. If it's zone, I take off. I go. That's what he said after the game, which is just so funny. That's just how simple that play was too. I just thought that was funny. But dude, the running backs in this game. I want to talk about the running backs in this game. Those boys balled, dude. Like both teams average. The start Fletcher for Miami averaged 6.5 yards a carry, and then the black guy for not Kalen Black, not the black
Whoa!
guy on Indiana. Average 4.6. And dude, that Fletcher dude is fucking hard to take down. That Miami running back and Malachi Tony Ball, that guy is a freak of all freaks. That guy, he is so good at football. And so is that Becker dude for Indiana. I don't know how old that dude is. I'm assuming he's going back because I've seen like no draft buzz about him. But you talk about contested catches, dude. He looks like he kind of like, and I hate this because he's just a white receiver, but he looks low key like Alec Pierce does in the league, where he just like he doesn't always light up a score sheet, but like goddamn, if there's a contested catch for 30 yards, that motherfucker's gonna grab it. He's gonna grab that ball. Miami's D line balled again. I think they had 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss in the game. So they really got after Bain that dude is a freak. That dude's a freak. And Indiana's tackles, honestly, for the most part of the night were on turntables. Like they really, really beat them up front, I thought. So for Indiana to still pull off the win. Shout out to Miami. I didn't think it was gonna be as close as it was. They stayed in it though, like I thought it was over. I thought after that punt return it was over, but Miami went right back down the field. They kept it a good game. And yeah, I don't think it was boring at all. Like I guess it started out slow in the first half, but anyone that watched that second half and thought it was a boring game, like you're out of your fucking mind. Like it was all you want in a national championship or a Super Bowl is a close game. No matter what that looks like, you just want a close game to keep your attention. It kept my attention the whole time, man. I had fun.
And then I know people were saying about the first half was odd. It's like, bro, it's football. Like, I want to see that. Like, I want to, like, it's supposed to be, oh, what are they gonna do after, they got to punt it again. Like that shit's electric. You can feel the nerves in the room. Oh, I fucking love that shit. TJ, man, what do you think in cooking this up, bro? You're watching two teams that beat, OSU. Um, you know, Honestly, I'll say this too before you talk. This is unrelated, but I kept thinking, dude, if Jeremiah Smith would have went to Miami like he almost did, like I'm not saying he almost did, but like they were saying like that was his other school, they would have won. I'm just saying. I'm watching the way they were just running around. I know Carson Beck's a filthy animal, just a human being in general. Like, I cannot wait to not ever see his face in anything ever again. Like, just really, dude. Like that guy. I haven't gone to school in a couple years. Get a job, you fucking bum. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, what'd you think after watching this wild ass game, dude? Mendoza cooking it up, dude.
Yeah, man. I got a couple things for you. So first on the Ohio State thing, it's hard to say I don't like really care necessarily. I mean, like it doesn't like stick in my craw like to this day that we lost to Indiana. The Miami loss is a little more, a little more of a soft spot, but Indiana whooped us. They were the better team. Miami was the better team. So I can't sit and stew on it. Those guys, they fucking deserve to be there, So for the Buckeyes, we're on the next season, man. And on the national championship, just a couple things, man. Like Eric said, Kalen Black, Roman Hemby, Mark Fletcher, great games. That's what you do with big physical teams. I know it sounds like counterproductive, to run right at a massive defensive line. But, like two heavyweight boxers, if you can manage to lean on a guy and make him carry you and carry you and carry you and carry you, those big dogs on the D line are going to get tired out, So by the end of the drive, you get to the 10 to the 5 yard line, those cats are sucking air, and it makes them a little less effective. So, battle of the trenches, man, like Eric said, in the run game, heated, heated battle in the trenches. And Indiana really struggled offensively. Like Mendoza's had a lot of time this year in a lot of their other games. And dare I say, I would almost say Indiana had like a significantly harder time with Miami than they did with the Buckeyes. I think Miami's pass rush was well tuned and
Mhm.
just firing, man. Uh, and then a couple more things. Mendoza, awesome. He didn't have like a fantastic game. I think what was he like 16 of 26 or 16 of 27?
Yeah, the
Wasn't like
stats
a
weren't,
Yeah,
yeah,
16
it
and
wasn't
20, 16,
what
27, 186.
it wasn't a fantastic game by his standards, I'm sure, but I'm positive he don't give a fuck, Like I'm sure that cat is living it up regardless. And last man, Carson Beck. I I know it's like fun to hate Carson Beck, and I also find him generally unlikable.
It's necessary.
Yeah, but like the the stat that I read that was really telling was that Carson Beck has lost 6 football games his entire college career, and he threw a game-losing pick in 4 of them. So when you look at that and you think like, where does he go from here? Are you gonna creep into an NFL, quarterback room with that kind of reputation as being like anti-clutch and generally unlikable? I don't think it's possible, man. I think he might be selling insurance or Hondas next year.
I think he
We'll
makes
see.
a big move of like, I know back in the day it was cool to go to the USFL when it was first established because like they actually had big contracts. Like Steve Young went there first, right?
hmm
Instead of the NFL and shit like that. I think he pulls something like that. I say fuck it, dude. You got a little bit of pull, just a little bit. You might as well use all of it to the max. Go to these one of these fucking teams in this junior league and just be one of those guys. And I think if you ball out in something like that, it'll be a weird way to get to the NFL and it'll be a cool story. But I think someone's bound to be that guy one day, kind of like Kurt Warner. I'm not saying he's the same, but like if you got any chance, Beck, you gotta be unique about it. You go try out for a team right now, no. You need to go ball out against some JUCO guys that are 30 years old and the 36 and up league, whatever the fuck they call it. Like
Well, it didn't used to be weird. Like you
no,
said, like lots of guys played in the USFL, played in NFL Europe, like it's only that's only become like a really rare path in our lifetime, like guys like James Harrison were in NFL Europe, playing for a couple
Warren
years.
Moon's like Canadian football's like GOAT, right? Like I think he
Yeah.
has like all the records or had all the records. Yeah, like and just go do that, big guy. God, he's so ugly. God, I'll say this though. Before I get to Clark, I forgot to say this after Eric's point. You guys were talking about the defenses. It's kind of refreshing to see two of the top picks go at each other. You don't really always see that because sometimes you could be a number, top five draft pick, but your team just ain't that whatever. To see Bain and Mendoza on the field, swapping situations, bro, like that felt cool. You don't get to see that all the time in the national championship game, especially with, I mean, not gonna do the SEC bias. You know how we feel about the SEC half the time. But that's usually what you get with the SEC championships, right? So it's kind of cool to see that with a smaller Big Ten team with an ACC team.
Bro, and let me jump in and tell you right now. I'm telling you the podcast, I'm telling all the listeners, I'm telling you right now. Some of these football nerds and weirdos that think too hard about shit are going to try to tell you Ruben Bain's arms are too short to play in the NFL.
hmm
Don't listen to him. I'm telling you now, that's going to come up by some respectable football analyst. We just watched the shit. He's got the most violent arms, the best bend in college football. I don't give a fuck if his arms are 73 inches instead of 75. That fucking cat can play. So
Yeah.
keep that in your head before draft time comes around because someone we respect and someone you respect, listener, is going to try to push that narrative. And we just saw it with our own eyes. Don't think about the shit too hard. That's a top five pick.
Honestly, man, for all the people, I think it's kind of understood that Aaron Donald is like our generation's kind of GOAT, up until like probably Miles Garrett now is finally threatened that. And JJ Watt was right there. Like those type of that type of layer. Bro, Aaron Donald's like the size of a meatball. Like a good
Yeah.
meatball, fit
Yeah.
meatball,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
like still, like his arms ain't he ain't LeBron James reaching out at
Yeah.
anything, right? Like he'll be just fucking fine. And he's so versatile and fast. He could be anywhere. Fuck, he could lose a couple pounds of playing outside linebacker position in a 2 point stance, and like a TJ Watt does and get crazy.
I think if any, I think he bumps inside. If anything, you know what I
That
mean.
too.
Like
That's what I'm saying. He can do
how
Yeah.
anything he
heavy he's
wants.
already built. That's
Yeah.
why Aaron Donald might be a good call for him because he's not like small in any means. Like you said, TJ short arm things is already a fucking thing, which is annoying because we've watched him ball and maybe have one of the better defensive playoff runs we've seen for a defensive player. But yeah, it's definitely going to be. It's a good point, TJ. That's going to happen. We know it's going to because they need to find a knock on anybody, and his thing's just going to be like, well, are you running him in a 4-3 or are you going to do an odd front? And it's just like you said, he's a
Here.
good football player, man. Don't fucking over. It'd be the same, and it's the same with their tackle too in Miami. That
Yeah.
guy that just had 0 sacks in the playoff run. Everyone's gonna say he might be too small to play tackle, which is what we just did with Will Campbell. But it's just like, no offense to Will Campbell, but I just saw this dude play in the playoffs for 3 games and not give up a single sack. Like it's just we didn't get to see Will Campbell play on that level in college football. And no disrespect to him, it's just his team wasn't good enough, you know.
Yeah. Fuck
But
you, Will.
Miles Garrett put you to work, son.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Clark? Man, Signetti, bro. Finally smiling. Finally feeling good. God, the way he looks at the camera is so fucking hilarious. It really is. But like, how do you feel, man? My fellow Notre Dame brother. How we feeling watching this game and your reaction to it?
Really, as like a just a fan of the game, I don't really know what more you could ask for a national championship, Especially if someone likes watching defensive football. First half was a defensive fucking dream, man. Both teams really showed up. I think that was the coolest thing for me. There's really no doubt left at the end of that game who should have won it, right? Both teams came there. They didn't know. Everyone showed up to play. Both teams played fucking hard. Mendoza had a awesome storybook moment, right? That's what sports are all about. It was cool to see that. Uh, Guys like Malachi Tony, like there's a bunch of dudes that play in a game of super bright futures. Charlie Becker, I believe his name is, the receiver from Indiana, just continued to fucking blow my mind. Funny enough, I was just looking him up. His dad actually played for Ohio State, Dave Becker. Uh, Charlie's phenomenal, man. That he like only had like not very many catches like up to the Penn State game, and he started getting more playing time. He just took off. So I always like to see guys like that. I think Indiana had a lot of really good just good, solid pieces around them that were led by a great quarterback, and they won the fucking game. It's a great showing of why you have to play dominant at all three levels, right? Look at that blocked punt. That was the fucking game changer, and special teams are still important to today's game, even though sometimes I feel like a lot of people don't think they are.
That won them the game, straight up.
100%. And they talked early in the game that, Indiana's been awesome on punt blocks this season and ended up winning the fucking game. So great game. I enjoyed every second of it. I was locked in. Especially the ending was back and forth, and there's a lot of really good players in that game, man. Tony's going to be fantastic. Fletcher is phenomenal. He's a great fucking running back. And even I didn't catch the running backs from Indiana's name, but they had one or two guys that were just playing great, man. Those are really good defensive, especially the front seven for each team is some of the best I've seen in college football in a long time. When they're playing great competition, they still look dominant. So I think these are two just really good teams, and to me, is one of the best natties we've had in a long time. This competitive wise, I enjoyed every minute of it. It's sad that college football's over. I've always enjoyed watching that more than the NFL, and it was a good ending of the season. I couldn't really ask for more.
And to piggyback off that as we move forward, a lot of people, TJ was kind of already bringing it up last week that this gets a rough time of the year because a lot of people overreact to one thing or they predict the future a lot. I'll be doing a lot of positive overreacting for Notre Dame because I've been waiting for the season to be over so I can have a clean slate and act like nothing happened. Um, but at the same time, like, the parity in college football is crazy. We had Notre Dame, Ohio State last year. Hell, I'll go back again, and I know people have their feelings about Michigan's run, but they played against Washington, right? And then you have now Miami, who got left out of the playoffs last year. They're in it. Then you have Indiana, who storybook season even last year, but they just could not hang with anybody that was bigger than them. It just shows to me, like, I think this year really shut a lot of people up. It will shut me up that, like, we don't know shit. I mean, I'll go crazy for my own team, but, like, any of us to say if Indiana's going to do this again or not next year, we don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody to say that Miami can pull this off and sustain success, we don't know. Like, we just, like, how are we going to know? Who's to say that, we watched Virginia have a weird season this year. That was shouted out last week, right? They had a good season. We don't know anything about Virginia. They might not even look great on the recruiting board, but we don't know what they got cooking with the guys. We don't know if they
Yeah.
got a bunch of seniors coming back. You know what I mean? And now they almost go undefeated next year, right? The ACC sucks. We don't know if Clemson will be back. Dabo cooks it up. Like I just feel very healthy with that. Um, and that's why I saw even at kickoff. I thought that I was just looking at the symbols on the screen. I couldn't believe it, like in a
Yeah.
positive way. Like we watched the season. You can believe it watching the season, but I'm like, man, if you had shown me this years ago, I know a lot of people said that about Indiana, but I'm like, really, man, even Miami in there.
Oh yeah.
Like, Miami did like that 2016 post, like a bunch of people are doing, and I'm like, ooh, you really, like, I wouldn't shout out anything from that era anymore. Just keep pushing forward, Miami. I know
Yeah.
some people are saying like the U ain't back, they didn't win a championship. I'm like, I don't think that matters. I think they're back if you're relevant. The college football's changed. The championship
Hmm.
isn't decided with just two teams on a random bowl anymore. Now you can have a good, successful season without winning the championship.
Oh
I
yeah.
really believe that, and these fucking teams did it. And then we'll get in some early predictions, some early shit because fuck it. Got to start the beginning version of the clips next year. You know what I'm saying? Pull them out of this one since I'm working on the clips from earlier this year. As we roll into the season, everyone's doing two early top 25s. That's the way it goes. It's content. I always think it's fun. They also came out with the final top 25, which to me it just cracks me up. Like either either you like Notre Dame or you don't. I know people are gonna get annoyed with me on this pod. I just be patient with me. I'll be done with Notre Dame talk in a second. I really will. But to see us like everyone unanimously was putting us above all the other teams that were picked above us. All the other teams. Texas Tech's a fucking dog team. Texas Tech's so fucking good, guys. Watch out for Texas Tech. Fuck, they barely cracked the top 10. They're barely top 10 now. And shout out to the coaches poll, Kurt Segnetti's coaches poll. I sent that to you guys in the group chat right before we
Hmm.
started. Bro, that motherfucker, they need like fucking coaches like that pick the teams. Like
Yeah.
no joke. Like it's all talent. He moved Vanderbilt down to 19. Like he knew exactly what the fuck was going on, dude. And he put Iowa up at 11 to finish. Like, and I like that little bias there too. That's why I love it. If you're gonna be biased, let the coaches be biased. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have that than a bunch of fucking executives and ads and shit like that in a little room together. Fuck that. I'd rather have Signetti look at all of them and be like, "Hey, I played Iowa. They're fucking tough." Oregon goes, "They're fucking tough," and they're like, "Oh shit." Then you can kick out whatever bias. Fuck all that noise. But we do have the title odds. I've seen all kinds of different odds. I picked this one because I actually think this one's the most friendly. I think it was like yesterday, today changed. Like they're all changing. I just agreed with this one a little more, but I think Indiana did like load up big time for next year. Um, they were one of the big winners in the transfer portal, right there with Notre Dame, Ohio State, and stuff. They really filled in a lot of spots. I think they'll be fine. But you have Indiana at the top with I think they had Texas up there too, Notre Dame up there, Ohio State. Um, Oregon's up there with that. Georgia. They have LSU already cracking the top 10 as the odds to win the Natty. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I always think it's just a little early for your first year. I expect some good shit coming out of there, but a little early. Especially with the issues he had during the transfer portal. Even getting guys to commit shows a lot to me. Like, you would think that most guys would all flood over to LSU. That it really didn't happen. He had to beg and pry motherfuckers to even get over there.
I've been seeing a lot of shit people have been leaking like messages from girls, like college
Oh,
girls from him, dude. I've been seeing it all over. Like that motherfucker's getting caught up.
hey, you know what,
Fucking believe
LSU?
me, give
Keep
it two
cooking.
seasons, that motherfucker gonna get fired, dude.
Keep cooking, LSU. I don't know what it
Duh.
is. Like I think LSU's like a sleeping giant. As long as they're always down a little bit, we all got a chance. We do.
Yeah.
Because we don't need Georgia and LSU and you know what I'm saying? We don't need that fucking noise. Get them out of here. Some surprising ones that were on here is they have Michigan actually at plus 4,000, Ole Miss at plus 4,000. I think that's bullshit because if Ole Miss brings back half the talent like they're going to already,
Yeah.
like I know, like you know what I'm saying. Like if the quarterback win their court case, those odds change tremendously. You know, and they're thinking Alabama's going to drop. I think sometimes it's always bias. Vegas is always a little biased. But shout out Irish. And I'll educate one more last thing for Notre Dame on my rant here. Um, if you don't think Notre Dame's going to be good next year, you're not. You just don't know ball. If you don't think Ohio State's going to be good next year, you don't know ball. Like you don't understand the recruiting process. You don't understand the transfer process. You don't understand who's leaving, who's going. You don't. You're reading headlines. You're acting like, oh, a bunch of people left Ohio State or Notre Dame lost a player to Indiana. It's like, bro, no. If you actually look at the rosters and the reload and with the quarterback still in place and everything else, we all seen it this past weekend. The oldest teams win. Like that's just we're in that era now. The oldest teams are gonna win. And I'll tell you what, Notre Dame's got one old ass motherfucking team with a bunch of young studs coming around, and OSU will too. With just we're having freshman quarterbacks turn to sophomores. I don't care if they're a red shirt. Just very excited for all that, and I won't believe Texas is good until they're good. I don't care about Arch. I just don't. I mean, I'm sorry, but um, just earn your spot, Texas. Miami did more work than you. At least they made the Natty. Fuck Texas. You guys got any thoughts with going into the? I know half of you are gonna say. I can already hear TJ and Eric the political answer. It's too early to tell. Nah, man. You guys got any crazy predictions going into next year before I can hold you accountable for them? What about you, Eric?
Yeah, so well, on the Ohio State point, I did want to. So I know preseason rankings don't mean shit. I just they put out the way too early top
Yeah. Oh
25.
yeah.
As of now, Ohio State will play away at 3, 5, 19, and 21, and then they'll play 6 and 11 at home for next year. So that's six top 25. If obviously all those teams want to stay top 25 teams the whole
Yeah.
season. I just wanted to point it out because it just kind of caught my eye because we're away at Texas, Indiana, and then we're away at Iowa and USC. And then we have Michigan, obviously, and Oregon at home because we're not playing Penn State next year, which kind of upsets me, honestly because that's just like it's a rivalry game to me now. Like I want to play them every season, but I think they're only off for 2 years. Future wise, I
It's a tough
I
schedule.
said the same thing last year around the same time. Like I just if Jeremiah Smith is in the run for a Heisman, I will be so disappointed. The dude's just too good not to be in that talk. Like they got to do what they need to do. On the bright side, he's only like 300 yards away from breaking all the receiving records. I think so that will be fun to see. That'd be a huge accomplishment for him. Obviously, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Ohio State. I hope Texas turns it on because we're gonna be having the Arch conversation all over again all year. And next year's the year he's probably gonna leave for the NFL. So I do hope Texas turns it on because I kind of feel like Arch is one of those guys where it's kind of like it's kind of written in the stars with like the
Yeah.
family shit and like being the number one pick. Like I just feel like it's written in the stars with Texas. Notre Dame's gonna be tough,
Our
obviously.
schedule's buns, bro.
Is it,
It's
We're gonna be
so
hated
I
bad.
all
was just about
year.
to ask you guys what the schedule was because
Oh,
We
it's
have
I
the
super
easiest schedule
easy.
Notre Dame's had in fucking 25 years. They said or something like that.
Mike, you want to pull it up if you have a second.
Yeah.
Once you pull it up,
So
run through it
it's
for
it's
us.
gonna be, but honestly, as a Notre Dame fan, half glass full, not delusional shit. Like we need to get out of this ACC contract, and this is gonna be what
Hmm.
does it. After what happened last year with the Miami thing and everything, and then this year with them making us look bad, like they are making us look bad. It almost feels like it's on purpose.
Dude, I hope the rumors about them trying to do it with the Big Ten would is true
Yeah,
because I
sign me
would
up for
I would
that.
love that. I would
Sign me
love
up.
that so much. Like
So
you
I
guys
got
are like
the
an honorary Big Ten team. I would love that.
Yeah.
I got here. We start with the season versus Wisconsin. Then we play
Okay.
Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, BYU, Navy, and Foxborough, which me and Jack are hoping to go to on
Oh,
Halloween.
that's cool.
And then they play Miami, which is by far our hardest game. Boston College, SMU, Stanford, Syracuse.
Okay.
It's
All
very
right.
easy.
That's a
If we
very
should
random
at
schedule
minimum
too,
go 11
honestly.
and 1, and really with I mean it's Miami's returning a lot of good guys, so I think they're going to be tough still,
They
but I
won't
think
win
we
in
should
South
beat
Bend
them.
We don't
though.
know who their
No.
quarterback is though, because that
Yeah.
Duke kid isn't going to be allowed to play anywhere else. Because that was the plan for Miami was to land
Yeah,
him
I saw
in the
they
transfer
sued
portal.
him. They're actually suing him.
Hmm.
They said I from what I'm understanding is he could still play there, but that sounds like he'd have to play for free. He would not be able to capitalize on NIL if he was to play there, which is fucking crazy. But then someone said, could Miami just pay his mom? You know, because there's got to be some workaround around that, right? If they can't directly pay him, what stopped them from paying his fucking family?
Or what's stopping them from just giving him a check once he like leaves for the NFL?
Yeah,
Being
I
like,
mean,
hey,
how do you
here's
even
your five
Or
stop
million
like
that?
dollar
or
check.
like whatever check goes to whatever, just change the to line wherever the check's written to.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I'm
mean.
saying?
Give it to
Like
his
it
mom.
doesn't like or
Yeah.
like
Can he do deals with that
yeah, as I say,
lawsuit? Is he
he can
allowed to
still
do
do
a brand
brand
deal?
deals probably.
I don't know exactly. All I saw was that he would not be able to capitalize on NIL if he were to play there, as the ruling is right now. I don't know if that's going to
Okay.
hold up, but I guess Duke has is a very like big time law school. I don't really didn't really know about this, and I guess Duke is like going after him very fucking hard because they're pissed off. They're like
And
I
throwing
how
like
everyone
that.
they
That's
got at
cool
him.
actually. Fuck
how
it, we're
Yeah,
putting a
awkward
whole
is it if he
department
comes
on
back
you.
too? How awkward is it if he comes back?
that's what I mean.
If he's just like, hey, I'm Sherlock, I got a player, I can't play anywhere else, and all is like he's gonna come
Yeah,
back and they're gonna play him. They're gonna be like, hey, you're too good not to fucking play, so
yeah.
you're gonna have to suck it up. This is gonna be awkward as fuck, but you gotta
Yeah,
come play.
it is going to be awkward. I mean, what are you going to do, right?
I
If I'm
mean,
him, I'm saying, fuck it, I'm going to Miami anyway. Suck my dick. What are you going to tell me not to come?
when they
Uh,
start to become pause on that. When you, sorry.
ah,
But I mean when you get in a professional atmosphere, I mean I know I was bringing up you guys are Browns fans, like you deal with Watson in the damn place. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you're at now. You're gonna have guys that are left over from shitty deals and they're gonna be like, well
yeah,
fuck, what's he doing here? It's like, well, it's kind of professional. It's all money now. It's like fuck it, like he's here. Like and as a coach, like fucking don't play him. Fuck it. College, you have way more say. Fuck that kid. Like we have money, and you can tell a booster, oh, we have $1 million, or we have a $800,000 on the backup. Oh yeah, we'll play him. Okay, cool. Like that's all they're gonna do. Just fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. If I was him, bro, just hey, join. Hey, figure out what Carson Beck's doing. Follow him. You guys can have like a crazy USFL rivalry, bro. Shit would be nuts.
He plays in the
Oh,
USFL for a year till he gets cleared to get drafted.
oh man. No, but yeah, Notre Dame scheduled ass. Fuck it though. Jeremiah Love's gonna come back ready for his rookie of the year in the NFL, and he's gonna come back for that game in South Bend. It's gonna be electric, bro. It's gonna be crazy. And fucking Mario Cristobal's gonna get choke slammed by Marcus Freeman on the 50.
that would be fucking sick. Sign me up.
Oh, bro, I don't care if that's like sponsored by WWE and it looks fake. That should be badass, bro.
Yeah.
TJ, man, we're in early odds, early days. You got any lookouts? Like TJ, I feel like he always has something up his sleeve. Is there a team we're not ready for that's gonna be good next year? Oh, oh, well.
Whoop, sorry, gang.
There you
I
go.
was
There you
muted.
go.
Uh, as far as uh, like unexpected, not necessarily, but I'm really interested to see Oklahoma.
Mm.
Oklahoma's done some really interesting shit in the portal. And uh John Mateer's coming back, so that's like set in stone. He's going to be their starter next year. So maybe we get to see like early season John Mateer from this year
Yeah.
next year. Give him a reset, let his hand heal up. He won't, knock on wood, won't have time off with an injury that
That
kind of
might be
breaks
a
up his
Heisman
momentum.
ticket, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
was a
might that
huge
might
fan
be
of
the
him.
Heisman move.
Yeah.
So look, they've had a really strange portal class. And some of it I think helps, and some of it I think is a big old gamble. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but Oklahoma's tight end coach is Jason Witten.
Oh, real
Hmm.
shit.
I
Did you
saw
guys
that
know
the other
did you
day.
guys know that?
It's cool
No.
as fuck.
So they went and got three tight ends in the portal, so they might be kind of transitioning to a more like wing style offense, two tight end sets. They got Jack Van Dorselaar from Tennessee. They got Rocky Beers, whose sister, yeah, his name is Rocky fucking Beers, and his sister is Oklahoma's best basketball player for
Okay.
like
Huh.
women's basketball. And then Hayden Hansen. So all three of these guys, Jason Witten went out and got himself. They have the two big receiver additions in Trell Harris from Virginia, who had a pretty good season. I think he was second team all ACC. And they went and got Parker Livingston, who's from Texas, 6 foot
Oh
four,
yeah.
19 years old. What, 3 years of eligibility left? That's a big get for them. And then they got some weird gets, man. They went out and they got this cat named Lloyd Avant, who played running back at Colorado State, and he's kind of from the Darren Sproles, like the Darren Sproles mold of like a scat back kick returner type cat. Cole Sullivan, linebacker from Michigan, is a huge get for them. And if there was a player in the portal that was Brent Venables' style, it would be Cole Sullivan. And then they got two offensive linemen with a lot of experience. Emarion Harris, who transferred, I believe he was like a four-star portal get. So he's a pretty big name in the portal. Played 24 games for Arkansas at tackle, and then Peyton Joseph, who started games for Georgia Tech.
Oh, I
So
know
they
that
just they
tackle kid. Okay, I remember him. He was huge against Notre Dame. Big guy.
yeah. So they went out and they got not a lot of guys with huge names. Sullivan, some of the ball knowers will know Cole Sullivan. Some of the ball knowers will know Parker Livingston, but they're putting together some very specific pieces. So I could see them being potentially a team coming into next season that's well tuned, that knows exactly what they want to do, and maybe they make a deep playoff run next year.
I like that. Honestly, because I mean, different teams by far, different identities, but it's kind of the structure of what Miami just went through, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think Oklahoma had their year this year that was very similar to Miami's year last year, and like as a program, you can kind of see that trajectory right there. And the SEC is kind of for the taking in a certain way. You always gonna have Georgia, but Ole Miss won't be as crazy. No one knows what LSU is like, and no one knows what the consistency is gonna be like, with Alabama yet. I like that, bro. I also expect USC to be another one. I hate USC.
Hmm.
I hate them. I do, but they got a lot of young cats that have been waiting to cook, and you saw that a little bit this year. And I have a feeling they could put it together next year. And they're avoiding Notre Dame. But what do you think, Clark? So anything early, any early predictions, anything like that, or
Um,
just what you hope to see in this upcoming year?
I'm gonna take my turn to be a little bit Notre Dame bandwagon fan now. Early odds are indicating that a lot of people think CJ Carr's have a really big shot at the Heisman this season. I believe he's tied, or he's right behind for
He's
number
tied with
one.
Arch.
Yeah. Uh, if Notre Dame goes undefeated and he plays the potential that I think you and I know that he can be, and it's fun, I think he can win it easily. And the funny thing is, like everyone's talking about next year's quarterback class, no one's really talking about him. Like coming out for the draft, I'm like, to me, no, I've watched him quite a bit. I know you guys have too, but like if he keeps his linear progression that he had throughout the season, I know we've always kind of talked about progression isn't linear, getting better, but his trajectory, he could be one hell of a fucking quarterback, truthfully. His arm was so good last year, his decision making vastly improved throughout the season. Especially with some better receivers coming in, he could be a fucking real problem. So I'd really love to see Notre Dame go undefeated. No, we haven't had a Heisman winner since Tim Brown was at 87, 88. No, it's
87.
been a long time. Uh, that's kind of my early thing for Notre Dame. I think we can do that. I think we're on a right track. I got to watch more of that show about Freeman. I'm even more bought in with him now. I hope he never. I know at one point he will leave. He's starting to turn a real hot commodity for NFL jobs. But I really, as long as he can get us one natty before he fucking leaves, dude, I will be internally in debt to that man. He's just fucking awesome. I gotta imagine playing for him is cool, dude. Like that's the type of guy you buy into. He's just got that pull to him of being a leader, right? Someone that you'd really doesn't take no shit. You'd really just give your all for him. You know where you stand with the man. He's a good dude. I was really pissed to see that fucking asshole was trying to get him in trouble with the whole battery charge and all that shit because he's a sissy. I'm not trying to
Dude,
swear, say
best
that.
best PR move ever was putting him on that on game day.
You
Oh
Like,
see
yeah,
McAfee fuck with them about it.
yeah, it was
yeah,
perfect.
Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
saw Freeman like catch up in real time to what he was
yeah.
saying.
And you can see
yeah,
why the kids like Freeman, man. He was cool about it. He goes, "Oh, I see
yeah,
what you do." He's like, most coaches wouldn't do
Yeah.
that. Like they'd be like trying to shy away. He goes, "Nah, fuck that guy." Like it's
yeah.
like
And
that
that's
was
I brought that
perfect.
point too. Like he like watching him on game day before the game, like he could have a great career in media.
Yeah,
The guy's just successful. I think he could, be good at whatever he does. For some other teams, I think we're seeing with the landscape of college football, if it really started to even out a lot. I would love to see a fucking group of five team upset someone next year in the fucking playoffs. I think it would just be awesome to see. I think it'd be cool for them to like maybe earn some legitimacy of them being like, no, we can actually do this and be here. I don't think they'll ever go beyond the second round, but it'd be cool to see them pull an upset off. Catch a team on a bad day and do it. I like the USC call out Jack. They've been which I don't even know how the hell they're recruiting so well. I gotta imagine they are spending a shit ton of money, but every time I look at updated recruiting high school kids, they are just killing it. Uh I'm interested to see Texas this year. Arch really had a great end of the season. He really started to pull it together, and I think maybe that's what he needed. He just needed some time to really play and be the guy for a little bit to put it all together. So I'll be interested to see how he does next year. Uh, TJ Oklahoma was a great pick. To me, Mateer before he got hurt was my Heisman favorite. Truthfully, I think he was amazing. I think his hand fucked with him a lot more throughout the season than we think. After when he came back, he just didn't really look like the same guy. Great dual threat quarterback. I don't really have off the top of my head any teams I think that may surprise me. I think Virginia I think we see a good turnaround with them. They may not make the playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if them going 9-3. Right there being the top of the ACC. It's a great conference for them to do it, dude. That's the place you want to be. They don't really have a stud team anywhere besides Miami, and they haven't even won the ACC. That's been the big joke about all this, right? They made it the Natty, can't win the ACC.
Yeah,
So
that
I think
division's buns.
it really is, and on ever since Clemson fell, that division is in peril of being a division with no good teams, really. Miami made us caught lightning in a bottle for one season. They may not ever do that again. And one thing I'll bring up about the national championship one last time is I kept seeing people say, "What if Cam Ward would have been able to stay one more year? What does that team
Ooh,
look like?"
they could win.
Yeah, like if
Like for
he was
sure.
1 year too early, dog. You give that
Like,
team
You give
Cam
him
Ward.
Malachi Tony, bro. You give
That's
him
what
yeah.
I
Malachi
mean.
Tony. Oof.
Defense, I mean, that team was 1 year apart from being a very dominant team, which I think would have probably ran through most of college football this season. So,
I think we'll say the same thing about Notre Dame next year without Jeremiah Love. I think like we
oh
could
yeah,
be in
Mhm.
positions where like Carr's playing great, but maybe we can't get the run off. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
absolutely, and we that's going to be kind of a question mark for them. I know we have
so I
some
love
great
college
guys coming
football.
in.
That's the way
Yeah,
college football rolls.
and who knows, we might have someone step up that might be fucking extremely good. That's I think people have really been upset about the turnaround for all these kids going to different schools, but I think it brings another facet to the game that, we're gonna see guys
Yeah.
have to step up we might never have seen a chance before. Some of these
Yeah.
guys are have to step into a starting role that they might not have been thinking they were gonna get right away. So I think
Hmm.
that just it's gonna make better stories overall. I know people are mad about all the transfers and shit, and it does suck sometimes, but kids are getting opportunities that, 10 years ago they never would have got. So for that, I'm happy for them.
There's a
Is Price
lot of
going to the
motherfuckers.
league?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, he's
they're
out.
both
Okay,
gone.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to ask. I didn't know. I didn't see his announcement on social media or anything, so I
He
just wanted to
announced
ask.
we lost him. Our tackle is going to the
Malachi
league.
Fields is gone, right?
Malachi Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was already a graduate student
Okay,
too.
I got you.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, the corner's
uh,
back though. That corner that you like a
Leonard
lot,
Moore.
Jack.
Yeah,
Leonard
that's
Moore's
Yes,
back and
thank you.
Christian
I forgot
Gray,
his
thank
name.
and we
God.
Okay.
picked up more DBs on the from the transfer portal. We did
Yeah.
pretty well during that.
I
Also,
wanted to I wanted to add real quick, while before we move on from the portal, I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Uh, because it's kind of coming out in Ohio State news that like we lost a shit ton of players. I mean, you guys know Quincy Porter, Mylan Graham, they left. And the sentiment from Buckeyes fans seems to be, and this comes from people I guess in the know. Apparently, a lot of our guys that transferred out were told like pretty explicitly that they weren't in the plans, like they weren't gonna play. So if the shit goes both ways and a player can kind of bounce on a team and a team can kind of bounce on a player, what do you guys think about how that kind of evens out the transfer portal shenanigans and the controversies? Like, do you think we could see teams essentially reset themselves every year by telling the guys that didn't play well to fucking go somewhere else?
Oh
And
yeah.
that maybe because, right, I guess what I'm trying to say is that the optics right now point to all these fucking college kids are quitting on their teams. These guys don't
Hmm.
like hard shit. So, but if you look at that, we're not in the room. Maybe 40% of these are teams that told these kids, look, you're not going to play here. So, we just got X coach. He doesn't want you around. He didn't recruit you. So you got to hit the portal and go. So I wonder how many, because they said this year, what, fucking 1,600 players are in the portal or some shit. I wonder what percentage of those were essentially let go from their team and not kids that quit on the school that they were going to.
well, I feel like there's a lot of head coaches that have to do a kind of an inventory check, and you got to think and that at that level, talent is talent, and they can see it. And I bet there's always a handful of guys that they'd be happy to have them on the team, but we'd like to replace them with some of the shit we have coming in, or the opportunities we have, or the recruits. It's so much turnover. And also, I know, like maybe Coach Day knew, like, hey, I watched those kids practice all year. Someone's gonna want them. Like, and then we have some other pieces coming in. It's their way of. It's kind of like it ain't no different than like how we play, even like something like Madden, the way the NFL works.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's bad to be that good without being the guy
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, he's good, but we don't need him, which means, oh shit, think of like we could free him up and then get someone else that we do need, but he's good enough to go to get that roster spot out of here. Oh yeah, I mean, imagine like a for college football trade. I think that'll happen one day, like a contract like gets signed off together for players. I think that will happen one day.
It probably
Uh,
already has, but under the table.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
exactly
know,
like
where
Yeah.
what
like
you're saying. Like
Like, hey,
some
the
every
contracts are
AD.
about the same. You're taking him on. We're taking him on. Let's just keep the contract the same and switch to schools.
like it's not a surprise to me that oh wow we've never had ever had Ohio State players, but we've had what like four of them in the last handful of years with Freeman
Yeah.
as the coach.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we had that D lineman the other year. Like if he's an Ohio State guy, of course he probably has some type of in with that. Him and Coach Day are like, hey, you gotta. What do you think about that kid? He goes, oh man, he's a stud. He's gonna be a sophomore, but I, unless an injury happens, I got nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? Like we need a
Yeah.
D tackle today.
We can't afford him. We can't afford him as a backup. That's the conversation. We can't afford him as a backup. When
That's
like
a great point.
And
I'll
you
speak
fuck
to
over the
Ohio
kid.
State specifically too, because I think right now I could be wrong on this, but I think Ohio State has the oldest transfer portal class this cycle right now,
They
like the
do,
oldest
yes.
average age. So they obviously made that a point going forward, which is why like TJ, I'll buy that point outside of Quincy Porter because that guy was a 5 star like literally 6 months ago. So I don't think your opinion really changed on him. I think his was more of the issue with the how they called the offense this year and him not getting a legit rotation in games he should have got rotated in probably. And plus he did get hurt and missed a couple games, so that doesn't help. And that's not really anybody's fault. But I think the transfer portal thing's really because like every year this goes on now. Like I think I sent you guys that screenshot. It was like now this year is the highest so far where like 55% of D1 through D3 players didn't find a home in the transfer portal because it's just like I don't think the conversation's about like Ohio State, Notre Dame guys. The conversation's about like those Mac kids that enter the
Yeah,
portal and
yeah.
aren't stars. Like, the junior from the BG who maybe was a backup guard for 2 seasons and enters the portal. And now he's got nowhere to go because everyone's like, you don't have film, like you're not gonna get a pay upgrade. I mean, are you looking for money or are you just looking for a spot? Because maybe the guy at that level is probably just looking for a spot.
Yeah,
That's why
chance.
I don't.
And
Yeah,
that goes
yeah,
into more into what TJ's saying. Like that would suck even more if a coach is like, "Hey, shoo," you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like get the fuck out. And then you're like, "Well, fuck, where am I gonna go? You're the one that gave me my only offer." He was like, "Hey, buddy, we're replacing you, kind of. So it's either we cut you or we give
Well,
you a chance to
yeah.
go somewhere." Like
Like
that's
you look at
shitty.
LSU right now. Like I think LSU has almost 60 commits between their high school class and their transfer class right now. So what's that? You have 30 spots give away on scholarships to guys that are there right now. Like that is so much talent. Like this is what North Carolina went through last year. Different scale, obviously LSU to North Carolina, but it's just that's what they went through. Like what North Carolina have like 60 new players on the roster last year going into that season with Bill
Yeah.
Belichick, and it's just like that's this. It always goes back to the same thing college football do. If they could just fix the schedule of this shit, I think it'd be such a better oiled machine if they could just fix this fucking schedule that they're on. The schedule's just not good for. It's not good for the coaches. It's not good for the players. Like it's just bad for everybody, man.
100%. 100%. And I'll kind of wrapped up those thoughts with this going off the championship game. People are saying, oh, the era of blue bloods has changed. I think so, but also I think not because Signetti's a very unique situation where he had a lot of players he was able to bring. He's also a very old coach with a lot of experience that really helped him. That's all good stuff. I'm not saying that's bad shit. A lot of Indiana fans are trying to like they ain't getting the credit. It's like, no, relax. Like, we just never seen this before. So you're going to get analyzed a little differently than just giving all the praise. And I just think you have to have a unique situation to do that. But also with Indiana, I don't know if you guys watched their AD on Pat McAfee. That changed my whole point of view of what Indiana's doing because apparently Indiana has been waiting for this to happen with what they've done the last like 5 years. So like they got Signetti as soon as they knew they were ready to push a football program with all the renovations they made, all the money they put in. Because
Mhm.
she used to be at Georgia, a lot of people know that. So like she already saw the benefits of that. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think what we're talking about here with these transfers and everything so forth, the blue blood will survive a lot more, not just because of resources and money, but because of the fact they have the foundation of players. So when you're going through all that turnover, you can kind of afford a mistake or two on a kid because you have a foundation of ballers because you recruit just well naturally. You always get the guys that just want to be there because of your tradition. I mean, it's no different than it's just a video game. But think about like for the dummies out there, think about when you play Dynasty on NCAA and you offer a guy and he instantly commits. You're gonna have a layer of that with Ohio States of the world with Ohio kids. You're gonna have a layer of that with Notre Dame,
Oh
Texas,
yeah.
and so like with that, you can kind of fuck around. You know what I'm saying? And like, do I think teams like Miami are back now because of this? Yes, because Miami was successful because they were paying their players in the early 2000s. So like they're gonna do
Yeah.
this again. But to say that the era of the Blue Bloods is over, no. I just think you're gonna see a lot more refreshing shit, and this ain't new. I know Michigan's a big brand, but Michigan Washington to me was the weirdest thing ever on TV. Like I was looking at the screen like Michigan and Washington. Like, you know what I mean? If you'd have told me this years ago, what the fuck? So like I think we're just gonna see new shit. It all depends on the coaches. Anyways, we got some fucking football, more football to push forward, topics to talk about. NFL playoffs. Shit's crazy. Start with the AFC. We'll go off a little bit of reactions of the games themselves. We had a lot happen with Buffalo and Denver that I won't really regurgitate too much of the probably what everyone else has heard. You know what I mean? Off of all the radios, all off of every show. Bo Nix going down the way he did on a weird play. They can't tell if it was the kneel or the play where he rolled out left, and apparently it's like a little bit of both. A lot of people are kind of crazy. Like, oh, he broke his ankle. It's like, yeah, maybe, but hairline ain't that nuts. Like, being someone that's done that before, like, it hurts, but that dude's adrenaline's going through the roof, and he's a young man, and he probably just burned like a motherfucker, and he had no idea what the fuck happened until it happened. Um, but I wanted your guys' thoughts real quick before we go around the board. If you guys have any thoughts on this. But I just find it very interesting, and I know this is talked about a bunch, but the lack of criticism towards Allen. And if you guys saw that press conference with Buffalo, that shit was wild. With the owner and shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like, Allen's the one that fumbled. Allen's the one that did this and this. He's a baller who carried that team on his back. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying, bro, like, if we're going to put CJ Stroud on this fucking hill, we're going to put Allen on this fucking hill, we're always going to put Lamar Jackson on this hill. It makes no sense. Pat Mahomes can go 800 and make the playoffs, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he did that with blood, sweat, and tears." You know what I'm saying? But other quarterbacks do that, like that aren't Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, and it's like, man, the team could have won a couple more games if they were better in the clutch. It's like, bro, it just that shit just bothered the fuck out of me tremendously. And then I knew we all knew McDermott's on the block. I'm kind of mad at the media for pretending that we didn't know that.
I believe it's been talked about for how many
Yeah,
years
they're
now?
all
Two or
acting
three
like it's
years.
such a
Yeah.
surprise. It's like, no, this ain't like a Tomlin type surprise, guys. Like Tomlin was actually a surprise because we've been waiting on it. McDermott's been right there at the Tomlin conversation. He was kind of, to me, one of the gimmies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't young. He's been there a long time. We have talked about it before where I think it's kind of like that Coach Franklin effect where you kind of become your own enemy of your own success,
Yep.
right? Like he helped sustain that team, but still the owner calling him out, talking about the draft picks, just wild. And then that Coleman kid, he's still there. Can you imagine still playing for the team?
Yeah, I know. That's the craziest shit.
Just had your
Getting
heart
dogged
broken.
on.
Had a couple big plays during the playoffs too.
Oh,
Thought maybe you know what? I had a rough rookie season, but you know what? We finished kind of strong. I looked better. I'm ready for next season. And the owner goes, "Yeah, we didn't pick you, dog." Like
yeah.
that shit's fucking crazy.
Trash ass
Anyways,
motherfucker.
I don't know. I just before we move forward, what do you guys think about like just the way we criticize quarterbacks with their playoff type of play? Like anybody want to spit off that before I just start going over the reactions of the games?
I think it's too extreme. There's too much hype and then not enough. And I don't think very rarely anymore in the media do we see an accurate criticism of someone very rarely. Either if he fucking played like a hero and won his team the game, or this guy has been lucky and I think it's really ridiculous, truthfully. Josh Allen might have lost in that game, has had a great season. He's one of the main reasons why that team's been even relevant, really, other than guys like James Cook. You take Josh Allen off that team, it ain't doing nothing. And then you look at guys like CJ Stroud, you know, you take CJ Stroud off that team, they're probably still fucking right there. So, I mean, to me, that's how you need to look at that kind of shit. You imagine if fucking Josh Allen had a defense like the fucking Houston did. I mean, come on, dude. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, don't get me wrong, he fucked that game up. He turned the ball over way too much. He definitely did not help him, but they ain't getting there without Josh Allen. I don't give a fuck what you say. That Bills team is not good. They are not a very good football team without him.
Well, I think that was the problem with McDermott was
Yeah.
McDermott's a defensive coach, and the defense hasn't been there in the playoffs the last couple of years. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it this year because like Allen had a bad game, and he throws a lot of he has a lot of fumbles in the playoffs specifically. But it's like it's most of Josh Allen's losses are what in like the 40s half the time in the playoffs, dude. And
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, if you're a defensive coach, that's inexcusable. Like that's what you were saying, Jack. Like, I don't think it was that surprising because what did we say in the pod the week before? I told you guys with that Jags game, if they would have lost that Jags game, like that's exactly the way the game goes that gets McDermott fired.
Yeah.
That they
Oh yeah.
barely pulled out. Like in Jacksonville was what 15 yards away from being able to send that kicker out there to our tie it or win it. I forget that game now because that feels like it was 6 months ago now with how long these
Yeah.
playoff games
Yeah.
feel. But yeah, man, I'm really interested to see their process because now they're getting a late start. Like everyone else is in their finalists already. Now they're gonna have to be creative with it. I don't know. Like I love Josh Allen. How can you not love Josh Allen? Like I was rooting for him. Of course I was. I just think he's too much fun to watch. I want to see that guy advance. And dude, that Bo Nix thing, I cannot imagine how heartbroken a Denver fan was after seeing. Like you could see Bo Nix walking off the field crying because he knew like my ankle's fucked. Like when he was walking on the field, he's like waving goodbye to the fans, and you could see him tearing up, and you're just like, dude, that's really how your season ends. Like that is. And then Sean Payton, I mean, talk about wild press conferences because no one knew till he sat at that press conference. He's like, yeah, I was gonna get this out of the way. Bo Nix is fucked. Like he's done, and
Yeah,
everyone's just like,
looking
wait,
like
wait, wait,
looking like
what?
a true detective with that
Yeah.
jacket on too.
And please, please, boys, after you guys get off this pod tonight, go to Jason Brown's fucking Instagram
Oh, dude, yeah.
and look at his reaction to Sean McDermott getting fired, dude. It is so funny. He was making fun of Deion Dawkins. He's don't make me a sandwich, bitch. Joshua, you got me fired on my day off. He just went the fuck off. It was so funny. But yeah, man, I know TJ's got something for me.
Oh yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
about the
So
Bills' woes, TJ?
I just I as far as the McDermott thing goes, I get it, right? So like Eric said, most of Josh Allen's losses were like in games where they gave up 37 points. Like that like he said, that's completely unacceptable. But you got to think, how culpable is Brandon Beane in the situation as their GM? Like McDermott can only turn chicken shit into chicken salad so many times. Like if he doesn't have the personnel on the defensive side of the ball to operate in a way that he wants to play, yes, he's culpable, perhaps for not being more pragmatic and changing what he wants to do. But where do you hold Brandon Beane in the situation for going into the playoffs with no number one wide receiver, going into the playoffs with aging pieces on defense in Bosa, Milano, Tre'Davious White? Does he fit in all this? So when I saw the press conference, I thought it sounded like their owner had fucking chicken noodle soup in his brain or in his head instead of a fucking brain. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, you're gonna give Brandon Beane a promotion after this is the team he let them take into the playoffs? You could have made a move at the deadline. You could have went and got Shaheed from the
Yeah.
Saints, who they missed out on. You could have picked up one of these guys, to give you an edge in the playoffs. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I agree with Mike that it's either far too harsh or not harsh enough. Like I think it's okay to criticize Josh Allen, and I don't even want to talk about the turnovers. Like turnovers happen, it is what it is. Talk about him scuffing the ball to
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid to win the game.
Yeah.
If he doesn't yank that ball, Kincaid catches that, runs 5 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. Bills win the game. And we're having a completely different conversation. So I don't think. Look, if you're going to criticize Pat, if you're going to criticize Lamar, if you're going to criticize all these guys, you can't just criticize Josh Allen, or you can't not criticize Josh Allen because he's likable. Because he's like a sweet guy, and he's got a beautiful wife who's pregnant and he's having a baby and he does all the work in Buffalo with the children's hospitals and stuff like that. You know, you, we're talking football here. It's got nothing to do with any of that. So he's not safe just because he's a lovable big goof,
Yeah.
So they're reasonable questions to ask, and it makes you wonder because, like I said, they got aging pieces. So I texted the group chat and I said, "Look, man, it might be unpopular, but this might be the last we see of the Buffalo Bills, man, for a little bit. Because if this new coach doesn't land, Deion Dawkins is getting up there in age. There's your bookend tackle. You got your pass rush aging, Joey Bosa, Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, your defensive play caller and captain, aging, secondary aging. All these guys are getting old, man, and you're running out of time before a lot of these cats that have been instrumental for 10 years need to be replaced. So I think it's a really rough position to be in, and I think they really need to kind of take a deep breath before they go making any rash decisions in the coaching search.
And I don't trust it if you're making rash decisions at the first press conference. Like I saw
Oh
Rich
yeah.
Eisen's one of my favorites, and he had a good take about it. He's like, man, before we kind of saw what was going on and we understood why he fired him. Now you can't miss. You can't talk all that shit up there and then now do whatever. Like, and then like I didn't really like the way he was like, and I went to talk to Allen after the game and he wouldn't even acknowledge me. It's like you sound like a rich asshole that you and
Yeah.
you're upset because the quarterback was upset. Dude, like they were a passionate team in a small market that did better than they ever thought they would. They didn't even
Oh,
know if they were going to make the
Yeah,
playoff.
dude, anyone that
POV.
clowns those
He
guys for crying after those losses is fucking crazy. Like it's just I
Yeah,
don't like wouldn't don't you want those kind of players on your team that are that
yeah,
invested? Like I
I cried
want
after high school games, dog.
yeah,
The fuck?
no
it's
shit.
like,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all fucking did,
yeah.
dude. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
It's
That's
like, what
just
are you
it's just
talking about? Like this
anyone that
cat
clowns those
literally,
guys for that shit, dude, is just so it's so silly. It's so fucking silly.
he just had the fucking worst day of his entire life, probably.
Yeah, you're up in
Yeah.
Josh
his
Allen.
face.
It's like, oh, he won't talk to me. It's like
Well,
no shit. He just
apparently
had the
the first thing he said to him was that was definitely a catch, and Josh Allen didn't want to hear it, so he just stared off and
Yeah.
kept trying. Like,
Thanks.
and also like owner, sit down. Josh Allen is your owner now. Like what are
Yeah.
we talking about? Like you're in the smallest market. Buffalo's like the size of Toledo. It's like it's like, bro, like
He could throw the ball in Canada if he wanted to over that
yeah,
wall.
dude, like just fucking he deserves the criticism, but also, hey, you know what? People compared a lot to McDermott. Before we move forward, McDermott to Tomlin. I will say this, going off of what you guys were just saying, Tomlin was able to stick around with those over 500 records because what he was good at always was decent. Everyone knew he
That's a good
drafted
point.
Steeler players. He always had
Hmm.
some decent running backs and he had a good defense. Harris didn't work out over time, blah, 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 with the run game. But for the longest, that's why he probably left too. But for the longest time, he always had a running back, always had defense, regardless if they only won so many games. So McDermott was not able to do that. I mean, honestly, in a weird way, I'm just saying, Tomlin, I know you need to take a break. We talked about that last week. If there's any team that might raise your eyebrow, dude, the Bills might be an awesome team for you to just jump into, reestablish that defense. And
That'd be
also,
awesome.
fuck, I know I sound stupid every time I say it, but I don't feel stupid right now because it's so late in the coaching search. Gruden, what we doing? Come on, baby, let's go. Give him. He loved Josh Allen. Give me the snap count,
Oh
Josh Allen.
yeah.
Like he would go
You see
crazy.
this fucking guy?
Yeah,
You
he
see
would
this
take it
fucking
down.
guy? It'd be like a hardball, like he's obsessed with Herbert. It'd be that
Yeah.
times 10. It'd be that
Oh
times
man.
10.
And we'll get to more Denver when we talk New England, Denver in a second. New England took on Houston. We won't be too long-winded just because it's kind of the same shit we can say about CJ. Bro, I mean, I watched that game through and through. It was on CJ, but it was also just, dude, New England's back at playing cold-ass, nasty games in Foxborough. The weather was disgusting. The defense was flying around everywhere. They made him uncomfortable the whole time. I think that CJ Stroud, their offensive line is just as responsible as
Oh
CJ
yeah.
Stroud is. Like he was getting his ass
Terrible.
rocked. And whoever schemed their blocking, dude, you didn't have any help. You didn't rub off any tight ends, any running backs, nothing. You just got ran over the whole time. Vrabel just straight up meat headed the fuck out, just blitzed the fuck out of them the
Yeah.
whole time.
Send them.
And you know what, Drake May, man, I'm a believer in that kid. I don't know if he could do it all the way through yet, type shit, but man, are they in good hands with a guy like him? They're gonna be balling. Turnovers all the way around though. Like Houston was in that game for no
Oh
reason,
yeah.
and it's funny to me how it's all talked about. Oh, with anybody else, C.J. Stroud, like the Houston would have had a chance. I'm like, yeah, sure, but also we're not going to criticize Drake May for throwing those picks as well and then fumbling the ball a million times. Like,
What do you have? 4 fumbles on Sunday?
yeah,
Drake
it's
May had
like,
four
Yeah.
and
fumbles, I
like
think.
half of it was because of the weather. It wasn't really just
Mm.
because the defense kept him in. It's like there's variables in playoff football. That's why it's so fucking awesome. Um, And then if you guys have any takes on that, we can go across the board though to predict New England, Denver, and you can give your take a little bit on Houston, New England at the same time. I'll start with you, Eric. Then we'll go TJ and Clark.
Oh, okay, so Denver and I mean, it's just I wish Bo Nix was playing this game just because, and
Yep,
like no hate to Jared Stidham. I don't know if I've ever watched him play
high
an
school
NFL
goat
game before.
apparently.
He hasn't started and he hasn't played a game in 2 years, right? Isn't that he hasn't
Yeah.
taken an NFL snap in 2 years? I will say at least he does follow Peyton around. Like Peyton even had him back. Didn't he have him in the Saints for a little bit as a
Yeah,
backup
Payne
quarterback
says he
too?
loves him. Like he even
Yeah.
told
Yeah.
him
So
that. Yeah,
so maybe that's good for him. I just thought that Bo Nix does a lot with the ball. Like he does a lot of running shit. I don't know if you're going to count Stidham for. Like he makes a lot of like off. What do you call that? Off center plays, not off center plays,
Off
off script
schedule.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, off schedule. Thank you, TJ. So I got to roll. I'm gonna roll the Patriots here just because it's just I just watching that defense against a backup quarterback who hasn't played in 2 years. It's gonna be messy. We should have a rule where free agency can start and we could get like Flacco on the Broncos tomorrow or some shit. Like someone fun, dude. Just someone fun. But and then go back to that Patriots and Texans game. Dude, Will Anderson is
Oh,
so fucking good. That whole defense is studs. But I was just watching Will Anderson. I'm like, yeah, I think this guy might be on that level. Like, I think when going into next year, he's gonna be the guy that we're all saying, like, hey, he's on Miles and Micah's level. Like that's how he's played. That dude he is so good. I had so much fun
yeah.
watching him and that whole line. And then was the other edge on that team? Daniil Hunter,
yeah.
undersung.
He
We
was
always talk
crazy.
about
Yeah,
that he's so underrated in the NFL as a whole, but
yeah,
those two guys in the opposite, ooh, that team, that defense is so much fun to watch. And like you said, Jack, like CJ still had that bad of a half, and they still only lost by 12 points.
yeah,
Any other team, any other defense you put in that scenario over and over again probably is not going to keep that game close, and they did. And it was still a fun game to watch, like a shitty fun game to watch, where you're just like, holy fuck, this is still going on. Like just turn over, turn over. But yeah, I'm gonna ride. You gotta ride with the Patriots here in this game just because of that quarterback situation. If the Broncos won, that would be absurd. That'd be the coolest. That'd be the coolest playoff story we've had in a couple of years. But yeah, that's all I got. Mike, what do you think about the games, big dog? About the Pats Texans, and then what do you think about the Broncos and Pats going forward?
I think, truthfully, I don't know if you can write Denver out just yet. I know Stidham's kind of an unknown. Defense is fucking really good. Of any team that's left in this, I think that's probably the team that could have a chance with a backup. Patriots are playing great ball, but fucking Denver's defense is very good, right? They have good DBs. Edge rushers have been very good. I believe they might have been one of the top teams in uh, total team sacks this season, if I remember correctly. So I think they're going to be all right. Uh, the Houston game, I don't think I got to watch a lot of that one. I did watch, I think every other game. Uh, who was the Saturday? Who was the first game Saturday? That was Bills game. That's the one I watched with a bunch of my buddies, and we were talking like it just fucking blows my mind of what the fuck is I just about to say? God, I'm having sorry,
Bills.
fucking tired. Bills, that's right. Okay. That game, I know we talked about the whole catch thing and all that, but dude, I don't know. I don't know if I really don't think the Bills would have beat either of these teams AFC after watching who's playing this weekend. I really don't think they would have made it further anyway. But I think you can't write out Denver just yet. I really don't. I know Stidham, like I said, has to take a snap in 2 years. I think the defense, and I did I don't know if this is right or not. I know they said Dobbins was about to come back. Did he play at all this weekend? Did he have any carries? Does anyone know?
No, I don't think so. But the
I mean, it's
story is that he
Harvey.
might be healthy enough to get back.
Yeah, if they have him and Harvey, really running the ball well, they can just, Stidham doesn't have to win the game himself. I really think if Denver can put him in a position to win, they could still fucking win it. So it's gonna be close. I mean, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like in Denver. I know this weekend's supposed to get gnarly with the fucking weather and shit. I know there's a bunch of a snowstorm across the whole U.S. So I think, if it's really shitty out and both teams offensively aren't having a great day, that game could really still be close. But I think, yeah, I think I'd have to still pick New England. Although I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a close one still. And you never know if Drake May fumbles 4 times, dude, and they can capitalize on great field position, they can still win the game. I really do believe it.
And we're gonna see some nasty weather this weekend.
Oh
So
yeah, they're calling for like 14 to 17 inches here, dog. I ain't looking forward to it.
oh bro, as soon as I get done with my jokes this Saturday, I am home.
Getting home.
I'm not
Yeah.
sitting around. I'm not hanging out. Yeah, I might even like live stream the rest of my set from in my car on my way home.
On
Let me finish my
Discord.
last 5 minutes real quick. Oh man, it's gonna be nasty. I was kind of hoping to see more teams play in that belt of snow
Yeah,
and
I
ice.
know.
They're gonna supposed to be 3 inches of ice as well.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, it's dangerous. Power will be out. Make sure you guys get your groceries. TJ, man, who we got, man? We got New England across the board, but Denver is scary. In their own right. That defense is still electric, and honestly, Sean Payton he's the better coach. I mean, I love
yeah.
Vrabel, but Sean Payton's like he wins this shit. We're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
like he moves up that list pretty fucking
That Mount
fast.
Rushmore list
Yeah,
up.
like
Yeah.
he moves up that list quick. And I think he was already on your list, TJ, wasn't
Yeah, yeah, I
he? Hell
really
yeah.
respect Sean Payton, man.
Hell yeah. That's a good segue there. So what do you think, buddy?
Yo, so let's start real quick with the New England Texans game. I got two things on that. Uh, I said last week on the pod that the Texans would win this game. And the reason I thought they were going to win was because I said there is no way CJ Stroud could be as bad this week as he was against the Steelers. Turns out he can absolutely be as bad as he was against the Steelers. So it is what it is. So I feel for CJ, man. It is what it is on him. They're going to have to figure him out whether he's their franchise guy or not. So I believe he's got a year to prove it. Second, on the Texans, uh, going back to what I said about the Bills having aging pieces, the Texans are the opposite. The Texans have all of their intrinsic pieces, their vital players on their team are all like 23 years old, like Jalen Petrie, Will Anderson, Aziz Al-Shire is 27 or 28. Stingley, the corner, is young. Their receivers are still pretty young, despite being like pretty injury stricken. So if I was them, we draft in 7 offensive linemen, brother.
Yeah.
This year in the draft, I'm taking 4 guards, 3 tackles, probably tackle in the second round, first round. Hey, we're going all in on offensive line, man, because they got to get that shit figured out. That was brutal to watch. And then looking forward, Broncos, Pats, give me the fucking Broncos, man.
Woo!
Jarrett Stidham, you are Nick Foles, baby boy.
Oh
Yep.
my
Bring
God.
me
Yep.
home a
Baby
fucking
boy.
dub. Let's go, son. And I think calling back to what Eric mentioned, Stidham has been up Sean Payton's ass for the entire
Yeah.
time he's been in Denver. Bo Nix, great football player, fun to watch, but I really think Jarrett Stidham could get in there and do a Nick Foles-esque, just steer the ship and let the defense win the game. We're going
Like,
to come out. We're going to run the ball. He's got a real number one receiver in Cortland Sutton. The
yeah.
offensive line is playing really well, so let's go Broncos, baby. Jarrett Stidham, you're the king, man. Bring it home.
Sean Payton had a press conference at the beginning of the season. He said that with both quarterbacks on his roster, he truly believed he could win any game with both of them playing. He's always been a big fan of Jarrett. So like you said, who knows? He could come out and pop off, and wouldn't that be something if he plays it, wins it all, and fucking Bo Nix never starts there again? And that's
That's
how
why,
weird
hey,
shit happens. Like Tom Brady and
Stidham,
Bledsoe.
that's why I believe in Stidham because when I saw Bo Nix go down and it came out that Jarrett Stidham was going to start this game, I got the involuntary little feeling in my chest.
Oh my
I got
God.
I felt the fucking magic start to happen. I felt my heart warm up. So I got a call from the universe that said Jarrett Stidham's going to win this game.
Well, I'm gonna make my prediction, and I'm gonna say the universe just lied to you tremendously. And this is the reason why I think, just real short and sweet, I think we have two teams that have won in very similar fashions all year, very close games. Kind of weaker schedules than some other people. I mean, Denver kind of lucked out with Kansas City struggling and the Raiders being butt cheeks. New England's schedule was ass cheeks this year. So I just think that Denver, as much as that kid could ball, I want that. I think they needed Bo Nix in this when you're talking about that. We're splitting hairs here. I think this game, if everyone was healthy, was already splitting hairs. Like it's going to be one of those games that end on a field goal type of shit. Just because that's the way they won all their games in the past, and they're just made for each other to have a good game. I'm just going to give it over to New England just because they have the quarterback, and I know that that's like the complete opposite of what you were saying, and it's kind of like a cherry pick, but just really that. Like Drake May, if like he stared that other defense down, man, with Houston. We were talking about Houston,
Yeah.
like And I know he made mistakes and the weather was crazy. And sorry, you guys might hear my cat go fucking bananas in a second. But just the fact he did that, I'm gonna roll with New England here. All right, so a lot of us say New England. He says Denver. The Super Bowl, man. We're rolling back time. I don't think we would have ever really predicted those two to be the final ones in the AFC. There's no
Nuts.
Baltimore. There's no Buffalo. When I was going through our old predictions that we'll go through next week, that was really what all it was, right? Like, oh no, Chiefs are the Chiefs. Buffalo might be right there. Ravens are due time. None of that shit happened. Motherfuckers got fired. That's what happened. Even Harbaugh got fired. We were ready
Yeah.
for nothing. Andy Reid don't even want to come back. Travis Kelce's sleeping at Taylor Swift's. Shit's wild. Anyways, NFC. I'm just gonna get mine over with. Usually I wait for it to be last, but we're gonna do it right now because it's the next one on the list. San Francisco, Seattle. Game was over. 13 seconds in. Now I will say it's. I'll go back to the quarterback conversation we were talking about with what Clark was saying about we don't really judge quarterbacks accurately. I am kind of grateful that we did judge pretty accurately in this, where like he just tried his best.
Yeah.
And like I think like everyone was understanding of that. I also would like to say that the only reason people do get judged semi accurately is if there's like an asterisk next to it. Like we all knew that they were injured, so it's like, oh, blah blah blah, we could say he did his best. If everyone's healthy, that's not a winnable performance whatsoever, and he's getting dogged. You know what I mean? Isn't it funny how that
Hmm.
works? But Chris McCaffrey's wheels fell off. Finally, he was in pain, bro.
Yeah.
Like
You could tell.
you don't see a lot of guys just like they're like he just looks like he's in pain. They don't say an ankle, they don't say a knee, they don't say a
His whole
shoulder.
body.
They just say he just looks like and he's like oh, just leaning over. I'm like, dude, what is motherfucker? God, his appendix, like it's something crazy. Like man, like we had what we had. Keegan rung through my head. Like Keegan's take is all I think of.
Yeah.
Keegan was spot on. Like we had our win. I'm grateful for it. It was a successful season. When I was going back to my predictions about the Niners, that's all I asked for, and I got it. So I can't bitch about it. I said I want to make a wild card run and get a playoff win. Well, we did it. I just wish we didn't get our ass whooped by our one rival, like our literal rival, like the one
Yeah.
team that has bragging rights over us, other than the Rams. But you know what? I'm going to say what you guys didn't say about Ohio State because I think the NFL it's more prevalent. I'm pretty happy to see our whole divisions in the finals for the
Fuck
NFC.
yeah.
Like that's something
That's
in the NFL that's a win.
oh yeah. You
Like
still made it to the fucking you still won. I mean that's
divisional.
yeah,
Yeah.
when does that ever really happen anymore? Three fucking teams that are in it and oh that was by far like they for sure by far the best division in football this year. Like especially because the AFC North took such a dump. Recently they've been one of the top dogs. I think it was easily said that they were the best. And one thing I wanted to add real quick, the crazy thing about fucking Brock Purdy, I saw right before they pulled him, he scrambled 434 yards in the backfield during that fucking game. If anyone says that motherfucker did not try his best to make something happen, that is I couldn't even imagine doing that. That is absurd, dude.
We ran
That just
four
goes
and a
to
half
show you.
fucking.
Yeah, that is fucking crazy to me. 434 yards.
And I feel for him because it's the NFL, right? You don't ever have
Yeah.
everything line up at once. Like he's not like that Brock Purdy with a full roster. I really like our odds a lot more, right? Because
Oh
he's
yeah.
focused, he's dialed in. But it didn't work. Shanahan, I think he tried his best. And I think it's also a unique situation where, like, right, like some teams they lose their game like this. Buffalo loses a close game, they get rid of McDermott.
Yeah.
Niners are not gonna get rid of
Nah.
Shanahan
They gave a
anytime
fucking
soon.
clap on the back, say, hey, you fucking
Yeah,
tried.
but like
Yeah.
it goes back to my Tomlin take. You gotta be good at what you're good at.
Hmm.
Shanahan would get booted if the offense didn't produce, and the offense produced all season. In that game, it just didn't. Once I saw that kick return, I had a brilliant night. I fucking performed from Annie Lederman, bro, and fucking had a blast.
Yeah.
I
I
was
was so
like,
happy for you that you had a great night.
yeah,
You were texting us from the club. I wanted to text and be like, "Hey, attaboy, do you stay clocked in at the club, big guy?
yeah, dude.
Don't
Like,
turn this shit
I
on
almost
right
forgot to
now."
look for the game actually, because I usually like wait. So like the 8 o'clock show pops off. I'm in the middle of it. I go to fucking look at the score after I just had the best night of my comedy career so far, pretty much. And I saw the score and went, "Oh shit!" Just locked my phone right
You
away.
already, you already got your win for the day. That's all it was. You already got your win for the day. You can't
That's
ask
why I
for
texted
two.
you guys. I
You
was
can't
like,
ask
"Great
for
night,
two.
fuck the Niners, but great night." Yeah, like
I was with Jonas and Brent. They're like, dude, how's Jack doing? He's, I was, hey, he's having a good time.
Yeah.
At least he had the one off. He says, hey, I like told you, life gives and life takes,
Yeah,
brother.
exactly, man. You
Yeah.
can't win them all. I'd rather have it that way, but
Yeah.
the pod is done. I'll do my last little retrospect of the season since I'm the last one out of all of our teams to go through
Last man
this.
standing.
Definitely just successful year, man. Shout out Shanahan, shout out to coach staff. Man, I'm exhausted of rotating coordinators. It's getting a little out there. Like we're producing head coaches left and right for defense. You know what? I got a lot of trust in John Lynch. He's the one that hires the defense coordinator, if you can't tell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think we're in good hands. They asked John Lynch today if they're going to start investigating the electromagnetic field thing. He said he had to look into it. And I was like, dude, what world are we living in
You're gonna
now?
move the whole
Yeah.
fucking.
That'd be nuts.
Well, come to find out, people were saying like back when they were at Candlestick, they practiced in Santa Clara, and that's how like the rumor was originally like what started a long time ago. So they've always practiced in Santa Clara, but you should just play at Candlestick. Um, Unique. I'll be thrown off if the Super Bowl there's a lot of injuries because they're playing there. Like that'd be fucking nuts, bro.
Bro,
And
imagine the poor fucking intern that has to explain electromagnetism to John Lynch. It's like, look, John. And John's like, you mean to tell me it's invisible? You can't see it, smell it, or taste it? And like, what the fuck, dude? Imagine the poor fucking kid with glasses and a clipboard's got to tell him about some fucking electromagnetic
that's a
stimuli.
fuck, dude.
They should
Swear,
let
bro.
Kittle do it. They should let Kittle do it.
Dude.
He'll play in WWE terms or some shit.
And there's some old rich white out there that has some ownership that's like, man, we had Kaepernick and now we have gravity
Yeah.
issues. Like, like what the fuck?
It
Like,
never ends.
you know what though, man? Like, I feel like I don't know if you guys saw, I sent you guys. Chris McCaffrey had a dope ass post, of course, running outside the tunnel. But his caption really has hit me, man. He's like, he just loves the team. Those boys love each other. Fred Warner's already back. I'm glad he didn't have to play actually because now he's fully back.
Yeah.
Let's draft really well with the front seven. Keep the DBs intact. Try not to move too many parts around. Make sure the offensive line's filled up, and I think we're in a good spot. I feel spoiled as an NFL fan. I don't think that we have anything to really have our heads down. Last year was really rough, and we still almost broke 500 having a rough year. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Go Niners. The quest for six continues. Um, I don't care. I'm spoiled. I mean, and I'm grateful to have, in a weird way, not a backhand compliment. It's just like I'm surrounded by Browns fans my whole life, right? And I see a whole different aspect to it. Hell, I'm surrounded by Pittsburgh fans as well, and I've seen their aspect of things lately. And even like living in Columbus, you see a lot of Cincy guys or Indianapolis guys. I felt bad for some of my Indianapolis friends more than anybody this year because they thought they were really on a roll. The whole team got
We
figured
all
out.
did. I
Yeah,
mean, we
like
fucking thought that was they were gonna do it.
they were this year's Jags of last year. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it really was. So like as a Niners guy, man, we keep making the playoffs, keep pushing, let's go. I've learned to accept the fact that it's okay to be second. You know what I mean? It is. It's okay to be second. Shout out Shanahan, the goat. If it wasn't for Shanahan, McVay doesn't get a job. So either way, I mean, hypothetical win for Kyle Shanahan. Let's go. But yeah,
Hypothetical.
you guys got anything with that game though? I mean, kick return, they run the ball so well.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't have to, Sam Darnold didn't even have to throw the ball much. He's had
Uh,
multiple games where he doesn't have to throw the ball much. They're a complete team. Like,
Very complete.
yeah,
They are on their defense is very good. I think Niners just struggle to get open a little bit. I think that really affected Purdy why to scramble so much. Their defense is very impressive to watch. Uh I think Charbonnet's out, right? He tore his ACL, I want to say.
yeah,
Charbonnet's out
yeah.
for this
Yeah.
year. But Kenneth Walker, he gets going. He's a very good back. I haven't really watched the Seahawks much this season. I haven't got a chance to really watch them, truthfully, and I was very impressed by them. I think right now it's going to be a fucking battle this weekend. It really is. They played I was just looking here. They played the Rams last on December 18th. They beat them by 1 point in overtime. I'd be surprised if it's a blowout again. I worry the Seahawks are a little high in their own supply. I know they're probably feeling fucking good. Do not sleep on that fucking Rams team, dog, because Matt Stafford going to come in like the Reaper. He could be ready to play, and they had a fucking great gutsy win this weekend. It's gonna be a battle. To me personally, I think whoever wins this game is winning the Super Bowl. That's how I
Mhm.
feel. I think the NFC's has the better teams this season. I wish we could see this be the Super Bowl, truthfully. I think it's gonna be a great game. Best of the best have played this year. I think it's gonna be a very good one.
Hell yeah, dude. TJ, what do you think? Niners, Seattle, man. Come on. And you did good. You surprised me. You helped me out. You're picking the Niners with me, but it didn't go our way whatsoever. But what did you think about a game like that, or is it just one of those things where like we didn't have a lot of blowouts this year, so I feel like a lot of people turned that fucking game off after a while just because.
Oh man, I mean it's one of those. It's the culmination of an unfortunate series of events. Like uh, you can only run on fumes for so long, man. And that's exactly what the Niners did, with all the injuries. That the chickens had to come home to roost at some point, and it just so happened to be against Seattle. And on Seattle, I agree. I think they're a pretty solid team across the board.
Yeah.
I think whatever phase of the game they're in, I think the defense plays really well, and I think the defense is very well coached. Like watching them play, they're extremely well coached in the secondary. Like I mean, spot on. Mike McDonald is an animal, So, uh, there's not much else to say, man. The Niners were battered. The Niners sideline looked like a Civil War field hospital. People were missing legs. People had fucking people had wooden crutches and their fucking jaw missing and shit. Like it was it,
Yeah.
was- it was a horrible thing to see, man. So hopefully they're back healthy next year because I believe wholeheartedly in Shanahan and I want to see what their defense looks like under a new coordinator.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we gotta spice it up. We gotta change things up. All right. I could push it even more, but fuck that fucking game. This game was way more electric. LA Rams, Chicago Bears, nuts. Nuts. I don't know. Just I just keep thinking about that touchdown play with the phone recording. Dude, like that
Dude.
is one of the coolest things ever. I know some people are like, "Oh, soccer beat is cool now." Fuck it, that's still one of the coolest, dopest situations I've ever seen. Like that in the Mendoza play made me jump up. Like I was like, "What am I watching? Like this is crazy."
I always say as I get older, that becomes more rare for me as a football fan. Maybe because I don't get excited like it is as a kid or I've seen so much football. I haven't fucking yelled like that, and there was something inside of me when he started to launch that ball. So this motherfucker's gonna throw a touchdown right here. I couldn't fucking believe that he pulled that up. That you know what that reminded me of was Johnny Manziel's play against Alabama where he threw that one up to Mike Evans. It was just like, how the fuck do you even do that? It was
Dude,
unreal.
crazy.
I scared the shit out of my lady. She was sitting on the couch reading a book, and I was cooking dinner, watching the game. And I made, I was kind of half watching, but I saw, I saw the play, and I made like a fucking primal noise, like "Arrgh!" when he caught it. She was like, "What the fuck? What's gotten into you?"
Man, dude, like my family, big Chicago people, it was an upsetting loss, for sure for the fam. And it was like the last team I was really trying to root for. His Niners already lost, so I'm like, I'm gonna root for the family. If Chicago Bears go all the way, that'll be a cool party at my aunt's house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everyone will be electric for that, bro. But no, did not happen. In fact, I kind of thought Chicago deserved it. That atmosphere was crazy. Like
Mhm.
that was like a movie. Like the whole place was loud. It was packed. And another cool story of like the Bears were in shambles for like what the last 10 years, bro. So
Yeah.
like to see what they were able to do with that. Eric, man, what do you think about watching that crazy ass game, dude? Matt Stafford, I don't know if you guys saw too when he take off the jacket and the dude would just catch it. I know I saw a lot of comments. People were like they brought that motherfucker from Detroit. What'd you think watching that shit, man? Caleb Williams is a dog and he ain't going nowhere, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the that I saw. I think I saw a tweet about that throw that sent it to overtime. That actual throw he made was like 52 and a half yards long or some shit like that.
That's
That's how
put.
far the actual throw was Caleb Williams, and he's just a car wreck. Like he reminds me so much of like obviously he's not on Josh Allen's level, but that's who you feel like you're watching sometimes with the dumbest mistake you've ever seen, but then he comes back and makes a crazy throw that you're like, hey, I think there's maybe one other guy in the league that can make that throw. You know what I mean? Like I was just telling TJ for the pod started. Like I heard one of my friends told me like something about Caleb Williams is that like he's great, but sometimes you just need him to be good. And he hasn't found that mix yet of just being like good. But then he'll have, after a bad pick, he'll go be great for 2 plays. And it's just like, hey, if you can just find the good and balance it out, man. He just has no balance. But God, that game was so much fun to watch, man. That game delivered. That was a game I was looking forward to most this weekend, and that absolutely delivered. Overtime in the playoffs, it's just there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. That's all you want. Like I said, when you're talking about Natty, all you want is a close game late. It makes the product so much better than playoffs. Parity, parity, parity. That's all I want. It's just close teams, and that was that Stafford had that stupid throw to Devontae on the sideline. That one stuck in my head too. One where he's like barely looking at him, he throws across his body, like probably like he was like 20 something, 30 something yards. That was a crazy throw. Just really, really fun football to watch. Two totally different quarterbacks too. One very
Yeah.
calculated, and the other one's just playing on fucking vibes strictly sometimes.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, truthfully, for him. He really is.
I thought Chicago was going to win that, especially
Mhm.
like I just did. Like after everything happened and went in overtime and just seeing the first was it the first pick or whatever it was, like the first like
Yeah.
turnover, like I was like, dude, this is it. Like they deserve this. And then we're gonna get number one, number two seed for the NFC Championship game. It's gonna be electric. I'll say that more in my take with Seattle that I just think even though that game was cold, it wasn't Chicago. I don't know if the Rams can hang with Seattle in a certain way if that type of game happens again. Because Chicago deserved it. Like, but also like this is where like vets really come in, dude. Stafford like is the type of guy you want when shit like
Oh yeah.
that goes haywire. And it fucking did, dude. Fucking shout out, cool ass fucking playoff so far, especially with that game. Dope. Actually, let's get into our prediction real quick. Rams, Seattle. I just said it. I'd say Seattle. Clark, you were kind of referring to this game without giving a prediction. What do you think, man? This is gonna be an electric game. Best division in football. These teams know each other. And it kind of went my opposite way with my take with the Niners Seattle. Is just when you play divisional games, you don't know what you're gonna get because
Yeah.
like they're gonna try to throw everything at each other that they usually wouldn't.
Give me Stafford, bro. I think I've been had horrible fucking luck this year picking for the playoffs. I'm probably have the most wrong picks in the group, but fuck it, give me the Rams, dude. I
Fuck
think
yeah.
fucking Stafford does it. I think this is where he cements his legacy. I really do. Because I've always been talked about him being borderline like Hall of Famer. I think he already is. Give that boy a fucking one more ring. I'd love to see him actually retire for his own health, truthfully, if he wins it this year. Because he's beat the fuck, dude. I know his neck and back have been fucked up. I would like to see him win this year and kind of right off from the sunset. I think that's what I
Oh,
would
dude,
hope for him.
MVP battle too. Him and
Yeah,
Drake May. Like,
100%.
a rematch of another Super Bowl. That was probably the most boring Super Bowl of all time.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's a killer, though. I have to do that. TJ, man, Rams, Seattle, dude. Come on now, a Seahawk versus a Ram. I think that bird's gonna fly around that Ram until it gets confused, dude.
It's such a tough game to call, man. That is so tough. Uh, you know, based purely on vibes, give me Seattle, man. I think Seattle is I think Seattle isn't isn't even necessarily the better team, like roster wise. Uh I think they got the juice this year. I think they're gonna be able to get it done, man. And I think if my predictions come true and we get a Jarrett Stidham versus Sam Darnold Super Bowl,
Ooh.
the fucking a black hole will open and the world will be sucked into nothing. Like that might be the end. Maybe that's how we figure out life is a simulation when Jarrett Stidham and fucking Sam Darnold play in the Super Bowl.
Dude, nah, oh my. I don't even know. I think what they probably lose like 5 million viewers at that point. Like there has to be a drop off, dude. Like I know the Super Bowl's the Super Bowl, but if you put those two, there's got to be somewhat of a fucking drop off. The NFL's gonna be in shambles, dude. Honestly, this season shown me that there is no such thing as a script anymore. The scripts, there's no
Oh, it was
script.
tossing the trash.
Yeah, like with all this, there ain't no script with any of this. That shit's crazy. What do you think, Eric? Man, we
I
got
want
Rams,
first
Seattle.
First off, I want to know why they got rid of those script NFL commercials from last
Oh,
year.
I
Because
love
I
those.
thought that was the funniest shit. Those script meetings they did with like Michael Key and stuff, dude, those were so funny. But yeah, I think the Hawks are a more complete team. And Jack, you'll correct me next week on the pod. I think the Rams is one of the team I picked for the Super Bowl early in the pod, so I should probably be
Yep.
rooting for the Rams. I just think that the Seahawks are a more complete team, especially in the defensive front. They have a stronger defense than the Rams do. But like anyone that's betting on Stafford and McVay who've done it before, like I don't blame you at all. And I just want to, if Sam Darnold's the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl out of that draft class, that is the
Yeah.
funniest thing the NFL's ever given us.
Swear. I was kind of hoping too to get that USC quarterback matchup, Sam Darnold versus
Mhm.
fucking Williams. Like that would have been fucking badass. But no, yeah. Hey, this is the tallest. I don't think anybody can be right or wrong about that one. I think
Yeah.
New England, Denver is the writing's more on the wall. That's why I wish Bo Nix wasn't hurt because that's another one where you have two teams that are so fucking similar, where like you wouldn't be able to pick. Hell, you still can't even pick with the way Denver's defense is. Nah, man, Rams, Puka. You hear that story about his brother?
Oh yeah, stole the car. Yeah.
They sound like, 'cause I've heard people say they refer to them as dents all the time. I hear they're kind of the dummies, bro. Like
Oh,
those
for
fucking kids,
sure.
like we have friends that smile just like that and talk just like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, you're up to no good, bro.
Yeah, I know you're
You're a
bad.
hooligan, dude. I
Yeah.
know you, dude. You're fucking.
You ain't fooling me.
Oh my God. But hey, we're playoff football, ready to go. I will shout out one more thing about playoff football. We were talking about that crazy play against the Rams. First thing on Keegan's mouth, which I was very happy to see because Keegan's such a defense coordinator. Coach Lowe, he blamed 14 right away. He didn't give a
Oh
fuck
yeah.
about the touchdown. He's like, he does not know how to play corner. First day of his, he's like, fire him. What do you say? Fire 14. No,
Yeah.
like, didn't give Williams his fucking flowers whatsoever. It's been a good fucking year, man. We got coach hires, coach fires going on as we wrap up real quick. Hey, Harbaugh's in with the Giants. That was a pretty cool video if you saw like him shaking hands with everybody. I saw the comments were funny though. They're like, these are the guys begging not to get cut. Like they're already the ones meeting Harbaugh to try to make sure everything's
Hey.
good. Um, kind of. Maybe he's kicking himself. I think Buffalo would have been a way better feel
Oh
for
yeah.
him. Like that would have been fucking electric. But that's pretty exciting. We got Stefanski laced up over with Atlanta. Honestly, me and Clark kind of talk about this game and like, don't be surprised. I know the Kevin Stefanski haters out there. Don't be surprised if a lot of Browns fans are kicking themselves because it won't make any sense that he makes Bijan Robinson look
See
like.
you
Oh,
hired as his OC. Did you see you
yeah.
hired
He
as his
took
OC?
Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, like he's
No,
done
it
I
it.
don't
would.
know what dirt that Tommy Reese has on everybody everywhere, bro. I just don't fucking get it. I just do not. He got a head coaching interview with the Browns. I was just like, I'm done. I would be done. Like I just don't know what this guy
Well,
has.
apparently
What
he's kind of
off?
a wonderkin. Like that's what he was as a quarterback
Yeah.
at Notre Dame too. Like he split snaps with Everett Golson that year we went to the national
He
championship.
saved us a few
Yeah,
times,
like
remember?
they literally would take Everett out to put him in to run the plays right because they were partially probably plays he held right too. Apparently, he was really big with the coaching staff, and then of course, when your first ever coaching job is the OC at Notre Dame, like it's already not fair. Like you didn't do anything, you weren't
I mean,
coaching
Saban took
quarterbacks.
him.
Like
I mean, something obviously people see something in him.
yeah, Saban had him.
Yeah.
I hated him as a fan.
Oh, I loved him, dude. He punched the fucking
Oh,
cop, dude. Come on. That's
he
awesome.
was a disgrace to the program. I could not stand him. I could
See,
not
and
stand him.
and let me tell you, Jack, real quick, man. The thing, it would make complete and total sense if Kevin Stefanski was awesome for the Falcons. Like in the Browns fandom, like
Yep.
this is how this shit goes. Because you know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to watch him run tight end screens on second and 13 for 5 fucking
Bits.
years in Cleveland, and then now he's going to call like an efficient fucking offense in Atlanta, and he's going to go 10-7, and people are going to go like, "Oh, yeah, Cleveland." Don't you like that? Up yours,
In the
Cleveland
worst division of
Browns.
football too. That's what's gonna
Yeah,
annoy the shit. All I
sure.
hope is
Yeah.
that he beats Baker twice because Baker Mayfield is a gift that keeps on fucking giving. Did you guys see his tweet
Oh
yesterday?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I know how you feel about Baker. I'm on the
Oh,
opposite
bro.
train, bro. Baker, fuck
Last
him
week,
up,
last week
dude.
he tweeted like no noise, just work. And then I love that he quoted the tweet like Kevin tweeted off his personal account.
Dude, I
And
hope
I
he's
Yeah.
just
dancing too, like he
such a
used to,
fucking
bro.
Hit a
oh
Like
yeah.
Dougie
whipping
on
it
him.
out,
I will be
yeah.
heavy rooting for Atlanta on those two games next season.
Nah,
Heavily
dude.
rooting. I will be betting on Atlanta in
No,
those
he's going.
games.
He's going for 400 plus against Kevin Stefanski, dude. He's gonna fucking go crazy, bro. He's gonna be hitting the guitar like he used to.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking nuts,
I
bro.
hope so.
It's gonna be nuts. He's gonna have like a shirt on. He's gonna score a running touchdown. He's gonna say "I love you, Miles Garrett" like on his shirt just to be an asshole. Like it's gonna be awesome, bro. The
He hate
Cleveland
me.
dude, I'm down for it. Actually, that division though is finally getting some something fun underneath. I want it to be better. Atlanta deserves to be better. I won't say anything good about anybody in the NFC or the NFC East, the NFC least. I can't stand any of those teams. I just
Yeah.
can't. There's something about it. No, no. But yeah, any other ones? We got Salah's with the Titans. Fuck
Yeah.
it. I feel bad for him, man, in a way because it's like, man, Jets and Titans, what a way to start your head
Yeah,
coaching
it's gonna
career.
be an uphill fucking battle for him to get a squad there, man.
But I'm hoping for some, especially with, the way Houston is. Like, that's the type of team he needs to have, right? Like, he needs to be able to go
Well,
somewhere with a
Yeah,
young quarterback that's stable to build that defense around it. Ward,
and
yeah.
that hire for the Titans really feels like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, because they had second interviews planned with Stefanski, Harbaugh, and Halfley, who got hired by the Dolphins.
Hmm.
All three of those guys took that job before their second interview with the Titans. So I kind of wonder, like, if
yeah.
they're just like, hey, this is the last guy, we don't love him, but we like him enough. Like, this is the last guy. Like, do it. Like, just get it fucking done. Stop. Like, it was an interesting hire though. I mean, I didn't see that coming. Like, I knew Saul was like a super serious hire for a lot of teams, but I kind of thought it'd make more sense for like a Cardinals type team or just not the Titans with the Cam Ward thing and everything. But we'll see. We'll see, I guess.
And
Well, I think
the
he's close with the Cardinals. He knows they're a dumpster fire up close and personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what are you gonna say, TJ?
the situation gets a lot more interesting uh when you look at who they think the OC in Tennessee is going to be in Brian Dable.
Oh yeah.
So if that ends up being Saleh head coach and defensive play caller and Brian Dable offensive coordinator and play caller, that gets really interesting. You give Saleh the keys to build a defense essentially from the ground up, and you give Brian Dable Cam Ward. Whether
And
it's
that
a
division ain't that crazy, you know.
no, but it could be amazing 2 years from now, or it could be
Yeah.
a car crash where you can't look away.
Yeah. Can't
But
stop.
either way, you're gonna watch. That like they say love me or hate me, but I'm gonna make you feel something. And that Tennessee situation is gonna make you feel something. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. So we'll see, man. And I wanted to add real quick that I don't know why, but the Halfley to the Dolphins signing kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, man. I don't know what it is about that because Halfley, fantastic job for the Packers as the DC, but for him to come into the situation with Tua Tagovailoa as the quarterback, and you have an aging Tyreek Hill coming off a broken leg, I don't know what that Miami situation is going to look like. And fuck, is that a tough situation for a coach to come into in their first head coaching gig?
I'll piggyback off that to do more a little bit quick history for the young folks out there. Miami looks shiny and fun on paper, right? They're the Dolphins, Dan Marino, the undefeated season. I've never seen a team have to carry legacies throughout their whole tenure and hide the fact that they're no different than the goddamn, I'll say, Oakland Raiders. Like the Dolphins are the only other team that's not made the playoffs since 2000 or something like that. Like the Dolphins have not made the playoffs. They've never been a good franchise. They always get people always think they're shiny and fun, but they never have been. That's why I really don't. I understand the firing, but I didn't agree with it because you know what? You guys have never been anything. You have a somewhat of a mini, I say mini electric offense. Like you're not that electric, but you can be with Waddle and the whole thing, right? Yeah, the Dolphins have gotten away with it for too long, having like a fun Miami fan base. But dude, the Dolphins are probably up there with the top three worst organizations in the NFL currently in the last 20 years. Like,
Well,
and
and look,
people don't think of
oh,
it that way. No, go.
look, look at how fucking Mike McDaniel's life has changed. He leaves, Miami in Tua, and now is expected to be the OC of the Chargers. You get access to Justin Herbert in a Mike McDaniel offense, given all of Herbert's physical tools already. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to see that. If if the ink dries on the paper and McDaniel's their guy next season, I am so excited. That might be the offense I'm most excited to see this
So
season.
a
Well, dude,
cool
I wanted him in Detroit so bad.
oh, me
I
too.
thought him in Detroit because I thought Detroit's just like his Dolphins offense on steroids. Like
Yeah.
I think you just multiply. Like it's you replace that Miami running back with Jameer Gibbs. You upgrade from Tua to Goff. You go from even though I like Tyreek and I like Waddle a lot, it's an upgraded receiver room too, just because he's Ahmad's better than both, and Jameson Williams is a speedster that could take over, that could fit a role too in that offense. TJ, did you see the Lions hired as their OC?
Yeah.
No.
They hired the Browns old QB coach, fucking Drew Petzing. What I
Oh,
wish Keegan was on here just to get his opinion on that because I'm just like with the names out there, like I don't even think they went after McDaniel, and I was just like that would have been the perfect fit for a team
yeah.
that's thirsty for offensive, just offensive creativity right now. But yeah,
Well,
sorry, Jack. What were you gonna say? You
well,
were
I was
going
gonna
with something
go
on
to
that.
go off of that too. Like, if you've known Dan Campbell, even from the time he showed up, has made hires that no one ever thought. Like help, even Ben Johnson wasn't like known like that. Yeah, he knows all these guys inside and out, right? And even like his DC was an ex-player. People didn't think Glenn was going to work out with him when they first got there, because they started so bad. Like obviously he has more of he's. I'm really impressed at how tapped in Dan Campbell is to the NFL coaching trees and ex-players. You can tell he has a good pulse on like who's really knows what as ex-players, probably because just his own relationships. But going off of that, bro, shout out McDaniel just because look at his trajectory compared to Kyle Shanahan. It's very similar. Kyle Shanahan, OC, everyone loved him to death. He finally goes to Cleveland. He gets Johnny Manziel. Shit goes kind of haywire. Shit's kind of wild and weird. And then he cooks it up with Atlanta because he finally gets Matt Ryan.
Yeah, the pieces.
He finally gets a team he can have fun with. Blows the Super Bowl, of course, but Atlanta was like deadly for like 5 years there, just
Oh
all the way
yeah.
through. And then then he finds a landing spot with the Niners. And me being kind of a homer for McDaniel because he is a Niners guy through and through, I was really hoping low key that like hey, you want to come back home a
Come back
little
home
bit?
for a
Like
little bit.
he's perfect under Kyle because he literally is a mini version of him.
Yeah.
I have good hope that this Chargers things work out. He'll come back. Like you'll see him come back with a good team, and he made a lot out of Tua. And I don't think some coaches would have lasted that long with Tua.
Oh, 100%. I really think, yeah, I don't think, I mean, you give pretty much anyone else that situation, they're probably gone in 2 years, really.
You have to have a creative offense to deal with
Yeah,
any of that. And if they can get the running game going with the Chargers, I know that's what they want to get going again this year. He's the perfect guy. But
100%.
I wish we would add him more with Christian McCaffrey because he was doing that shit with Isaiah Mitchell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the shit was like different. Like I kind of root for him. I do. As a homer, I do. And shout out Solomon. Nashville needs to be cool. I know I dog Tennessee because they need a rebranding, bro. It's like the Toledo Mudhens look cooler than you. You know what I'm saying? Like the Toledo Mudhens are swaggier. At least that shit was on Smash or Mash, like the fucking TV show. Like dude wore a fucking Mudhens hat. I don't see anybody wearing a Tennessee hat on fucking 2.5 Men or nothing. Fucking
Two and a half men.
fuck. Fucking stupid, bro. I fucking hate fucking
That's our
tennis.
litmus test.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
Oh
God.
my god! All right, boys. You guys got anything else before we wrap up this beautiful day? This was a nice little
Plug your
long one,
shows,
but
plug your shows, plug your shows.
oh yeah, man. Well, this Saturday, like I said earlier, you'll catch me, but you probably gotta catch me fast. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a show at 11. TBD. I don't know, man. As soon as it hits 11, I might get the fuck out of there. It's just where I'm at. I had a good show last week. Next week, Nate Meeker, I'll be hosting his whole show. He does a lot of sports content, so anybody out there that listens that wants to come watch, it's gonna be fun. He's a big Ohio State fan, so I'm gonna kind of plug in that and play with it a little bit. Definitely gonna shout "Go Irish" before I fucking put him up on stage. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like it's gonna be awesome. I'm even wearing my Notre Dame jersey for it. And yes, I am that guy who's 28 years old with a Notre Dame jersey with my name on the back. Don't judge me, dude. Don't judge me. Did you ever
Uh,
go to Notre Dame? I'm like, bro, I didn't get accepted to Ohio University. You think I want to fucking
yeah,
get
let
accepted to
alone
Notre
ND,
Dame?
son.
Oh my God. But I have that going on. And then, like I said, every Saturday, every Wednesday, and then soon, Two for Tuesdays, one of the best nights at the Attic that's really hard to get into as a comedian. Your boy is finally getting plugged in to enjoy that and have a good time. So that's what I got cooking up, boys. You guys got anything?
Nope.
Hell yeah. And keep an eye out for my comedy schedule, y'all. I actually have a real one now. And I'm having graphics done for it and everything. I don't want it to be stupid though, like those dummies that like look all mysterious over a bar and then it shows
Yeah.
all their dates to the side. Fuck that. Like I don't know, I might have it splooge out of my dong or something, bro. Like I gotta have something,
Whoa.
or like have like I even tried telling them like try to make it like a Diddy oil thing. Like I'm the one that caught Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fucking raiding his house. Oh
SWAT
man.
suit on.
Swear, dude, I'm trying to get all kinds of crazy ideas, man. Really. But no, things are going good. But you guys, I already asked, but anything before I say goodbye? All right. The boys say they don't want to fucking talk to you. That's what I just heard, people. They all just shook their head like, get me the fuck out of here. I got shit to do. I got shit to do deep in the trenches from the deep.